Nilisema mwaka wa 98 kwamba nitajiuzulu ama nitastaafu kipindi hiki cha miaka 5 ikiisha. Wengine hawakuamini kwa sababu wanaamini power katika kontinenti la Afrika kwamba kuna mtu anaweza kuwacha power ya urais. Power iko kwa wananchi, na sisi tu ni wadhamini yao.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, fellow viewers from wherever you are. I'm glad that you are watching Afrique 24 Hours TV. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. This is Afrique Truth, Political Talk. This is a show that gives you an opportunity to discuss and to give your opinion on things that are happening within the country. So karibuni sana, and I would kindly request that if you're joining us for the first time, if you've never subscribed to our channels, kindly start by hitting on the subscription button, hit on the like button, hit on the share button, and ensure that as you're joining us, you also invite others to view together with you. So this is Afrique 24 Hours TV, and I'm your host, Leo Nyabaya. So keep it here. Today, we are having something interesting. And as you can see what is written there, as you can be able to see on our title there, President Ruto is stoppable. And this one has been said by none other than Raila Amolo Odinga, who said today that President William Ruto is stoppable. But he did not tell us he's the one who is going to stop him. He said Ruto is stoppable and Ruto is going to be stopped by Kenyans. That is me and you. So the question I'm asking you today, or the question that we are going to try to answer in this show is it true that Ruto is stoppable? And if he's stoppable, when are we going to stop him? Then how are we going to stop him? And why are we going to stop it? Karibu sana na uchukue kiti na uweze kuchangia. So you can give your comments in the comment section. You can also invite others so that we can be able to watch together. Karibu sana na muona. The first comment is coming from Yufin. Of course, Ruto is stoppable. Ni vile tu wa Kenya hawajachoka. So Yufin anasema kuwa Ruto is stoppable, ni venye wa Kenya hawajachoka. So sijui maoni yako ni yapi? Tunaenda kuangalia, is Ruto really stoppable? And if he is stoppable, who is going to stop him? Of course, Raila amesema wa Kenya ndio watamstop. Then when are we going, Kenyans going to stop him, and why are Kenyans going to stop him? So those are some of the questions that we are trying to answer today. So karibu sana, na hakikisha kwa you subscribe, you like, and you share this video. So of course, we are live in Leo TV Afrique 24-hour TV. We are live in Mtembei TV, that is Mtembei YouTube channel, and we are also live in how do you call it? We are live in Afrique 24-hour TV. That is both Facebook and YouTube. So ensure that you like, share, and invite others. So nikikukaribisha tu, let me just play for you some of the videos when Raila was telling you that William Ruto is stoppable. And for those people who want to join me on the studio, I'm going to share a link there. So you can just click on the link and join me in studio. Already I have with me Captain mwenyewe. Nikisema Captain mnamjua, tuko na Captain mmoja tu, Captain Kip, kijana kutoka kule Kericho, ni jirani ya Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. Sasa hivi karibuni nitamleta naye pia aweze kutuambia huyu Ruto mnasema ako stoppable, anaenda kuwa stopped na nani, lini na kwa nini. So karibu sana na uweze kujisikia ni kama uko nyumbani. Let's listen to this, please.
Alisimama kamili na sisi mpaka kifo chake. Sasa mimi nasema kazi ya bunge ni kutetea haki ya wananchi. Imeandikwa in the Commonwealth tradition and system, the work of Parliament is representation, legislation, and oversight. Sasa yani bunge inatakikana hiyo ni inaangalia kazi ya serikali kuu. Lakini kama bunge inafanya kazi ya serikali kuu, sasa nani ataongoza bunge? Sasa kama bunge yenyewe imefinywa mateke, manake sasa kama serikali kuu imeleta sheria, takana bunge itetee haki ya wananchi. Sheria kama sheria ya fedha ambayo juzi wameleta katika bunge, takana bunge ipinge. Lakini kama wabunge wenyewe wanaenda pale wanapiga kura kwa ile sheria ambayo ni mbaya, ambayo inafinya wananchi wenyewe, nani atatetea wananchi? Kwa upande mwingine wanasema wanataka kuuza mashirika ya serikali, KPA, ati NOC, ati hizi Mumias, Zoya na kadhalika. Na bunge wenyewe tayari wamesema sheria moja maleta ati bunge isikague kazi ya serikali, na wabunge wenyewe wanapitisha hiyo sheria ati sasa hiyo serikali inaweza kuuza shirika yoyote bila kuleta hiyo mambo kwa bunge tena. Ni kazi gani? Wao wenyewe wamejifinya makende yao. Wamefinya makende yao wao wenyewe. Ni bunge hanisi, haina chochote. Upande mwingine Orengo amesema hapa ati Bwana Marende ni one of the best speakers that we have had in this country, because Marende followed the law to the letter. Wakati mwingine mimi na Kibaki tulikuwa tunavurutana, Marende akatoa uamuzi ya kweli ya kisheria. Sasa kama natakana kama sheria imeletwa mbele ya bunge, kwamba wabunge wapewe nafasi ya kutosha ya kujadili mambo hiyo. A bill before a house never had time limit. A member can talk on a bill for 2 days. And Shikuku sometimes used to talk for 2 days. These days they bring 2 bills in one afternoon. And they say they must pass all the stages within that one afternoon. Members are told, the speaker has now ruled that a member will have only 5 minutes. 5 minutes unaweza kufanya kazi gani? Hakuna chochote. Na hizo bills zote zinapita, wapende usipende. Yani yuko pale. Sasa Moses Wetangula ni rafiki yangu. Mimi ndio nilitoa yeye kwa KANU. Walikuwa ni watu wa Nyayo. Mimi ndio nilitoa yeye kaleta pande hii. Wakati tulikuwa kwa Ford, walikuwa kwa KANU. Sasa yeye amekuwa speaker. Kisheria ya House of Commons, speaker must be somebody who is neutral. A speaker must be non-partisan. You cannot be a speaker if you remain a member or a leader of the Conservative Party or Labour Party. Huwezi. Mpaka ujizulu cheo chako ya kichama ndio wewe unaweza kuwa neutral speaker. My friend Governor sema yeye ni deputy leader for Kenya. Kiongozi wa Ford Kenya ni nani? Kiongozi wa Ford Kenya ni nani? Na taifa wa Kenya na speaker wa taifa wa Kenya ni nani? Hiyo nataka hiyo swali umuulize yeye. If you want to be a true speaker, you must resign from being a leader of Ford Kenya. And then you can be a neutral speaker. You can be able to preside over the deliberations of Parliament in a neutral way. And then also allow members of Parliament to debate and exhaust the debate on a particular issue. Wakati hii sheria zote ambazo zinakuja kutoka kwa Ikulu zinapita. Sheria zote zinatoka kwa Ikulu zinapita. Kwa Kenya wako katika hali ya hatari. Kenya yuko katika mbaya zaidi. Mtu akisema mimi I'm unstoppable, hakuna mtu anaweza kunistopisha. Ni nani? Nyayo alisema yeye alikuwa ni unstoppable. Tulimstopisha. Tulimstopisha Nyayo. Kama tuliweza kumstopisha Nyayo, wewe ni nani? Wakenya watakustopisha. Kenyans will stop you. Kenyans have a right to stop you. Kenya cannot be ruled in a manner that is not prescribed in their constitution. Wakenya walipigania hii katiba mpya. Na hii katiba mpya ndio kinga ya Wakenya. Mtu asikuja kudanganya wewe ni mimi ndugu yako. Mimi ni kabila yako. Ndugu wa tumbo moja, hapana. Kitu muhimu zaidi ambayo itatetea wewe ni katiba. Na wakianza kujaribu kubadilisha katiba hapa na pale, ndivyo ilifanyika baada ya uhuru. Ndio tukaenda katika ile shimo kubwa zaidi. Hatutaki kurudi huko tena. Kwa hivyo tumesema mtu yeyote ambaye anataka kufanya vile sisi hatutaki kama Wakenya, tutakataa. Mko tayari? Kenya, mko tayari? Mko tayari? Mimi najua ndugu yangu huyo Sifuna angekataa na mimi. Na mimi nasema sasa ili Sifuna aende.
All right. That is Raila Amolo Odinga. And I think Raila Amolo Odinga was reacting to this. So if you can be able to see on my screen there, Ruto said, I am unstoppable. And he was saying this in regards to the complaints that Kenyans are giving. Mara mnasema hamtaki nyumba, hamtaki kulipa tax, and he told you, you'll have to pay. He is unstoppable. But today, Raila has warned and has reminded Ruto that indeed Ruto is stoppable. So the question that I'm asking you, my viewer, today is, do you think Ruto is stoppable? And if Ruto is stoppable, who is going to stop him? When is he going to be stopped? And why do we have to stop him? So maswali nimekuuliza, sasa majibu ni juu yako. You can use the comment section there and put your question, put your response, and also your reaction on the comment section. You can also join me in the studio so that we can be able to discuss together, so that we can be able to weigh in and see, will we manage to stop Ruto? Yes, of course, Raila has told us that Ruto is stoppable, and he has told us that the same way they stopped somebody called Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi is the same way they are going to stop William Samoei Arap Ruto. So there's some names common here. So Ruto is stoppable. That is what we are saying today. So as you join me today in today's show, we are simply saying that Ruto is stoppable, and who is going to stop Ruto are Kenyans. Sasa wewe kama Mkenya, how do you think is it possible to stop Ruto, and why we have to stop Ruto? You know, a lot has been happening in the country. People have been complaining of the high cost of living. People have been complaining of some the way the cases are being dropped. Like yesterday, you saw the case of Aror and Kimarer being dropped. You've seen those people who committed crimes, people that you expected that are supposed to be behind the bars, they've been set free. You've seen the money that was recovered and that was illegally stolen from the government coffers being returned back to the people who stole the money. So these are some of the things that are making people think that Ruto is now trying to tell them that you cannot stop me. But today, Raila said that Ruto is stoppable. So that, and among other stories, are things that we are going to see today, and we're going to see how do we have to stop Ruto. So keep it here at Afrique TV, and if you've not subscribed, kindly ensure that you hit on the subscription button so that you can be able to get notified whenever we go live. We normally have this kind of talk show each and every day from 10 p.m. Eastern African time up to late midnight. So don't miss this kind of discussion. And for those people who joined me last Sunday when I hosted Engineer Mora on the Unlocking the Land Dilemma in Kenya, I'm glad to tell you that tomorrow I'm also having another expert. Tomorrow I'll be hosting another expert, not Engineer Mora, but I'll also be hosting another expert in matters of land, and he's also working with the Human Rights Commission, and he will be live here from 10 p.m. So don't miss tomorrow's show. We are still going to continue with where we left with Engineer Mora about the issues of land. We discussed the matter of succession and the conversation will have to continue tomorrow. So that you don't miss it, ensure you subscribe to our channel and you turn the notification bell on. Karibu sana Hosea Kipkemei. Yes, we can. We will stop him. He has messed up the country. Karibu sana. That is Hosea. I also want to see you guys liking the video and sharing the video, and also sharing with me your feeling and your comments concerning this topic. So as we proceed, let me give you this. Today was a day of politics, and those people who attended the funeral of the late Sifuna, they really got a good dose of politics. And before that politics aside, there's also something that happened today. The deputy president is telling Kenyans abroad that tafadhali, mambo ni mabaya, don't come back home, things are not good at home, so nyinyi mkae tu hapo kidogo kidogo, mtafute pesa mtutumie huku tuweze kurekebisha ndio muweze kukuja. So the deputy president is telling Kenyans abroad not to come back to Kenya, and the reason is that things are not good. Things are not good. I think these are some of the reasons why people are saying that we have to stop Ruto, because they are admitting things are not good. So if you are out of the country, you are advised that ili usiumie, zidi kukaa pale nje.
Fighting our people from the diaspora. Please, this is your home. East or west, home is. And at the end of it all, let us not pretend. It is the desire of every Kenyan working out there one day to come back home and retire here. You must prepare for that retirement. You don't want to come back and find it the way you left it. Please, come back home, put money here. Don't come yourself. We don't need you here right now. We have enough problems with employment. We want you to stay out there, but we want you to send money here. But you'll come back home eventually, but not now. The government is deliberately creating a mechanism through the Central Bank of Kenya.
Yes, habari ndio hiyo. Kwa wale wa Kenya ambao wanajiunga nasi mkiwa kwenye maeneo mbalimbali, tafadhali don't come back home. You will come home, but not now. Things are not good. So I don't know, the ones who are in Kenya, I don't know what you'll have to do, because the ones who are already outside the country, they'll be told not to come back home. Na nyinyi wenye mko Kenya, sijui mtafanya nini. And let us listen to, there's some kind words that are also said by the governor of Siaya, James Orengo, reminding William Ruto that he is stoppable and Kenyans are going to stop him. So as we build up on this conversation, I would like to play for you this video so that you
and we want the march. So let me conclude this, because some people are normally worried when people are talking in such an audience. They begin to think, you know, we came to see this and that. But I think let us build one Kenyan republic, one nation. And a republic is not a country where you tell people where heshimu serikali. There's nothing like that in a republic. In a republic. In a republic. Unajua zamani ndio walikuwa wanasema tunaona crown. Heshimu crown. In a republic, the government should respect the people first. Respect the people first. So when people go hungry, you tend to them. You don't tell them respect the government of the day. Na respect the government of the day, ndugu yangu huko angekuwa mzima kama alikuwa anaendelea, kwa sababu he really respected the government, lakini akaenda na mimi ndio kafanya kesi hiyo. I tell you, you young politicians, I'm telling you the best of advice, and I'm telling even Masinde Captain knows there. If you're a politician, try and calculate a brand of integrity and leadership and speaking for the truth. If in America now, there's something called Bidenomics. Na nakumisha nasikia vile mmesema. You know, Biden is trying to tell Americans that, you know, life is better. But Americans are not feeling it. Hata useme tumejenga, tuko na 100,000 CPH. The question is, are people feeling better today compared to last year? Ama ni mudomo kutoka asubuhi. So I plead with you, Let's build one country. Let's go one direction. But the truth will always remain the truth. And that's why I respect the man we are sending off today. And my friend Anyang, I am a lawyer and a gentleman. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. That is Senior Counsel James Orengo, and you've said something so important that in reference to Biden economics, whereby Biden is trying to tell Americans that things are okay, but people are not feeling. I think we are also having the same thing in the country, whereby the president is trying to tell Kenyans, like every day is telling Kenyans that you see the economy is doing well, we've managed to recover the economy. But the common mwananchi, ule mwananchi wa kawaida, they're not feeling it. They're telling you that you see the economy is doing good, Kenya is doing good. And for those people who listen to the president's Jamhuri Day speech, it was full of praises, it was full of hope, and the president tried to explain how the economy is doing well, how everything is okay, how we are on the right track. But when you go back to the common mwananchi, they're not feeling this thing. So I don't know where the problem is. We are being told the economy is doing well, but back at home, we can't feel the wellness in the economy. So I think that is why majority of Kenyans, according even to the research that was done recently by TIFA, are agreeing that things are not okay. There are some mistakes that were made. There are some things that were done that is making the country not to run in the right way. And because of that and many other things that have happened in the country, we've seen the president at the center. The president has appeared to be so arrogant. The president has appeared to be more powerful to an extent that he's the one who is making all the decisions. When even the court tells him that, you know, this housing levy is illegal, you don't need to proceed with it, he goes ahead to tell you that, oh, you people, those things that you're telling me are nonsense. I will have to proceed and nobody can stop me. So when you look at that, the Ruto is simply telling you, I am unstoppable. But the narrative is changing today. Yeah, the person you people have been waiting for, the person you people have been waiting to come and give you direction, it seems Raila has started giving you direction, and he's simply saying Ruto is stoppable. And I can see people in the comment section agreeing with this sentiment, and they're simply saying that, okay, it's true, Ruto is stoppable and we have to stop him because he really messed the country. So I want to know your feeling, where you are. I want to know your reaction. I want to know your comment. Is Ruto stoppable or unstoppable? And if you're saying that Ruto is stoppable, so at what point are we going to stop him? And why do we have to stop him? So those are some of the things that I want to get from you. And I also welcome you that as you join the show, kindly ensure that you subscribe, ensure you like the video and share with your friends and relatives so that we can be able to view or watch together. I've shared the link there for those people who want to join the studio so that you can be part of this conversation. Just click on the link and it will bring you on the studio. Tayari, I've read a comment from Hosea Kipkemei, who is saying, yes, we can and will stop William Ruto. He has messed up the country. Caleb Harvey is also saying, heading for the Dangan, let's be prepared. So Caleb is telling you guys to be prepared. I can see Eugene is saying, imagine the kind of impunity being witnessed in the country. And I think that is why she believes that Ruto is stoppable. Ruth Apondi, karibu sana, anasema wamefinya. I think she was reacting to Raila's speech. Caleb Ndolo and associate is also saying that we will stop Ruto. We are going to stop Ruto. And again, Eugene is telling you that, of course, Ruto is stoppable. Ni vile tu Wakenya hawajachoka. Really? I don't think Wakenya hawajachoka. Why do you have to say Wakenya hawajachoka? What are some of the things that makes you feel or makes you say that Wakenya hawajachoka? Kweli, Wakenya wamechoka. We're in the month of December and people have already started thinking of February because come January, the school fee that has been increased, the ones who want to join university, and even the cost of uniform and the cost of food and everything is up. So people are already tired. Punda ni kama amechoka. Ama ni kiwango kipi punda anafaa kufika ndio tuseme kwa punda amechoka? Lazima tumuone punda ameanguka chini, amevunjika mguu, ameshindwa kutembea ndio tuseme punda amechoka. I think when Punda or the donkey feels that it is tired, it should just stop and stop overburdening itself. Lakini hii Kenya ni kama punda amechoka, lakini punda bado anataka kuendelea na safari. So guys, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. We have a lot packed for you today as you're trying to see how William Ruto is stoppable and how he is going to be stopped. A lot was said. I'm still at Western Kenya. Listen to Natembea pia akiwasomea wale wabunge, and I'm also coming to that because Raila also mentioned it and said that the parliament has really failed this country, and he really said that we don't have a parliament. Comparing the current parliament and the previous parliaments that we've had, I think this parliament is the worst that we've ever seen in this country. And the speaker is also leading because the speaker is a partisan individual who is still a party leader and is still playing some partisan politics instead of being neutral. And that is why this guy called Natembea had to ask them this question. Actually, this thing was happening in Western. And you know, when you talk of the Western part of the country, it's so important that we cannot dismiss it as far as politics of Kenya is concerned. It is just that it is a giant that has been sleeping. They've never been that serious with their numbers. But from the last elections, they've shown some seriousness. And moving forward, it is a community that we have to watch as far as the Kenyan politics is concerned. Naona nimekuwa joined pale na Captain. Captain, sijui kama unanisikiza ama umetoroka kidogo.
Nakusikiza sana Nyabaya. Habari ya leo?
Leo niko salama kabisa, na leo ndio ile siku, sijui kuna wale wamekuwa wakingoja. Unajua kuna watu wamekuwa wakisema Raila umenyamaza, nchi haiendi vizuri, lakini leo Raila ameongea pale na amesema ile kitu yenye Wakenya wote wanajiuliza, wanazungumzia. Amesema kuwa William Ruto anasema kuwa he's unstoppable. Who told him? We had Moi was more powerful and Moi was stopped, and he said William Ruto is going to be stopped, but William Ruto is going to be stopped by Kenyans, sio Raila mwenyewe. Amesema ni Wakenya ndio watamkomesha. So what is your take on this? Do you think William Ruto is stoppable? And if William Ruto is stoppable, then when are Kenyans going to stop him? How and why do Kenyans want to stop William Ruto? Karibu sana. Chukua kiti na uketi chini na uweze kutuelezea kinagaubaga, ili sisi Wakenya wengine pia tuweze kuelewa ni kwa nini William Ruto akomeshwe na ni vipi aweze kukomeshwa na ni nani ataweza kumkomesha, na vile vile ni lini atakomeshwa, ni lini tunafaa kungojea nini itendeke ndio tuseme kuwa enough is enough, now we have to stop you.
Okay, leo Nyabaya, kabla nichukue kiti nikae chini alafu tuongee vile umesema, na sasema kama nimesimama hivi kwamba kuna huyu jamaa alisema no man is limited. Huyu Eliud Kipchoge alisema no human being is limited or whatever. Ndio maana aka break the record of marathon na less than 2 hours. So what I'm telling also my brother William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, that you are not limited. We will stop you. We don't even need Raila Odinga to stop you. You'll only need Raila Odinga because he is a lawmaker. He understands how laws are going to help us in some other issues. But us as Kenyan citizens, we cannot persist, or we cannot anymore familiar on what you are doing. We are not happy of what you are doing, and don't come to be Jesus on earth to do the things that are not possible. Even the whole world, they are moving to the next generation as per the economy. You cannot force us to be in the previous leadership of Moi at this age. Hii ni miaka ingine imesonga sana. Tumepitia miaka mingi, tumepitia Kibaki, tumepitia Uhuru, alafu yeye sasa. We cannot go back to Moi using 2 generations back. It cannot work. The only thing that we need the president to do, even if it means the subsidization of consumption, it has to be. And at this time, your government now has messed up by subsidizing production, and we don't talk anymore of subsidization. from next year, because we will believe you that by next year, the country will be well when it comes to consumption, because you have already had that 1 year, you have messed it. So we just think of something else as far as consumption is concerned. When it comes to now taxing, that tax is very, I don't know, it's so extraordinary how we are taxed, because even petroleum in Kenya alone, when we increase petroleum in a month, it affects all the corners of the economy. Ikikuja kwa landlord, ikikuja kwa mama mboga, ikikuja kwa bodaboda, ikikuja hata mpaka ile choo ya kanjo ya kulipa shilingi 5, unaambiwa mafuta iko juu, tumeongeza bei ya ya kanjo. So we have to think outside the box, and I'm telling my president that we have to stop you. If you don't want us to stop you, change itself will change you to accept the change. I know you might be listening here, but I'm telling you, as I'm online here, you might be criticizing me the way you might be people want, but there is this mama mboga ayuko online hapa, aujui anaongea namna gani. Kuna yule jamaa wa bodaboda aujui anakurespond namna gani. Kuna ule ulimwambia pesa mfukoni ayuko hapa online, aujui atakujibu namna gani. Lakini mimi nikiwa kwa online namna hii, mimi namtetea yule mama mboga ulimwambia pesa itaingia kwa mfuko. Wifi itakuja kwa soko, unafanya online vile unataka. No problem. Kuna wenye labda wamepata wifi, we don't know, and we don't know
unachuna sukuma na unauza online ukikaa tu kwa soko, hata
uteseki. I tell you, if this belief can work, Kenya can be more even than London. Huh? And that is what we are waiting for. That is what we are waiting for. Huh? So, President, please try to fix what's happening and try to weed away those corrupt people around you. You know by yourself. I cannot even tell you. You know them. They are the people who are killing you. And talk to Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is a good man. Raila Odinga hata yeye amezungukwa na watu wawili watatu si wazuri, lakini wewe na Raila Odinga mkikutana mahali moja mkiongea, mtaelewana na mtaleta Kenya mahali inafaa. Are you seeing? Otherwise, we have no any problem with you guys. Try to see that the Pentagon you had during ODM time, fix it together to fix the problems affecting our people. Mko pamoja, tunajua mnapigana hata mpaka masimu, lakini saa hii tukikuja online hamtaki tuseme hiyo maneno, but we know you are together. Try to fix the problem, and if there is a way that we can be on this online platform,
and we can bring hapo pia tunakuja hapo mali umesema wanapigana simu, we are also coming there. There is an article that was being circulated saying that before the demonstrations were stopped, there is a certain leader, in that case Raila, traveled to Dubai with a certain Luo Somali MP, and in that case when we saw Luo Somali MP, we have Junet is the only Luo Somali MP. They went to Dubai and they received some money, and after that is when they decided to stop the demonstrations. So you see, we're also going to look at that. Could it be possible that we are going to get some New Year maybe present from William Ruto, whereby he's going to do a cabinet reshuffle and remove the incompetent cabinet secretaries and replace them with some competent ones with the assistance of Raila Amolo Odinga? Could that one be the reason why Martha Karua and maybe the other side of Uhuru Kenyatta, like they're trying to disagree when Raila is saying the bipartisan talk report is okay, Ruto is saying the report is okay, but the other people are saying it is not okay? We're also coming to look into that. There is possibility that these people are together and there's something that they are planning. There's some changes that they are planning. Yeah, so just hold on that. We are going to look into that also. I can see Ramesu Yegon, that Nailo Saharan guy, Karibu Sana, is saying that Raila, Raila nonsense. Raila, that is true. Karibu sana, kila mtu amekubaliwa kuingia na atupatie maoni yake. What we are saying is that we were told by Raila today that Ruto is stoppable, but he did not say he's the one who is going to stop Ruto. He said Kenyans are the ones who are capable of stopping William Ruto. And so many leaders who spoke today, actually they spoke to William Ruto and they tried to warn that Kenya is moving in a wrong direction. They tried to say that if we are not careful, that Kenya is going back to the olden days of Moi. And when we go there, it will really be hard for us to come out of that place. And the senior most politicians who were there when Moi was in power, the people who fought at the brutal activities that were done by Moi, most of them were present in Bungoma today in the burial of the late Sifuna. And they really spoke passionately, and they gave some advice to the young politicians. That is the Babu Owinos of today, the Peter Kalasia, the Sifunas of today, telling them that they need to have a stand. They need to build on integrity. Let us just listen to this guy Muhisa Kitui, then we can proceed from there.
And I think Nyabaya,
kitu cha pili ningependa kusema, if we are celebrating Sifuna, we must celebrate the way he would have done it himself, that you do not tolerate deviated leadership. Ukiambia viongozi hupahotiri, we fought for the liberation of this country. We cannot be cowed today to look the other way when the gains that were made from that struggle are being subverted by opportunists who don't know what government is all about. Lazima tueleze wa Kenya ukweli mbele ya viongozi wanaharakati wenzangu. We did not fight for liberation of Kenya. Mtu kutuambia ati hii itafanyika wapende wasipende. Kwame wabwe. If we banabama iwewe. You can't tell us I will have housing whether you like it or not. You don't own this country. We fought to stop that kind of primitive politics from permeating the public conscience of this country. Mukisherekea Sifuna lazima msherekee ukweli. Kwamba you cannot take up petroleum because of global prices. And when global prices come down, you keep prices up with a token reduction. We are not fools. Museme ukweli, we are not fools. And Sifuna will have called out fools who think that we cannot see through their lies. Mukimsherekea Sifuna, museme, can we go back to the path of proud politics? Oh, marwa kijana kamolanga. Alifuba na burobe. Komenya kumafu. Luka ne kulia bitete bisine ne kukona. Uhomango nange wo. If bandu bekimini kwamile kulia na kwaba kulondera bandu bekula kimilyango kuchingo kwemile kwitikibali bakwe kukichizeni chamsi. If you want to celebrate this hero, you must be ready to resuscitate the spirit of heroism, that this country has proud sons and daughters who will not be intimidated, who will not be bamboozled, who will not be bribed at petty stolen money and forget where we are trying to go. Asante sana.
Asante Muhisa Kitui. Mheshimiwa.
Your Excellency.
Oh, that is Muhisa Kitui. You heard him. He really spoke of integrity. Leaders who stand for what is right, whether you hate them or you like them. So Captain, ulikuwa unaendelea, so you can proceed. Yeah, do you know Muhisa Kitui? All the leaders who spoke today, they're really speaking on integrity. And it's good you've touched on the issue of petroleum. I heard the president today when he was in, I don't know, was it in Kisii, telling people that he promised that the price of fuel will be dropped, and it actually happened, and people really clapped for him. Secondly, he also said, he also promised that next month they're also going to drop the price of fuel. And he said this price of fuel is not because of him, but the owners of the people who are selling oil, they're the ones who give these prices. He's not the one who is giving the prices. But if you look at the reality, they're saying that the global price of oil has dropped. It has been dropping, which right now, if you calculate, you look at the rate at which maybe we were buying fuel last year and the global prices vis-a-vis what is happening today, we should be buying this fuel at less than even 100 Kenyan shillings. So, Captain, you can proceed. Floor Niako.
okay, Leo Nyabaya, I was trying to answer some of the comments that are there. Like there's someone by the name, I don't know whose name is this, huh? Okay, anyway, I don't know. There's somebody who has said wangechoka wangeshahamua kutimua Sakayo. I think when he say kutimua Sakayo, he means William Ruto when he says Sakayo. I can tell this person, let me tell you, my brother or my sister, that the person to Timua Sakayo is defined in the constitution. Even you can do that through the constitution, but not one single person who I know you mean Raila Odinga. And then from down there, I see Ramesu Yegon calling Raila Odinga Raila Namjinga. Let me tell you, my brother, if you are bold enough that you can oppose the government more than Raila Odinga the way he has done, just come in. Just come in. So that we can see if you can even call a single rally in Uhuru Park, and we will call you are clever enough before Raila, and then Raila will tell Raila you are kweli wewe mjinga. Because Rameso Yagun, I know you are on my side. Yes, very good. But you don't insult such leaders. These are the international people, bwana. These are the very big people in the government. You cannot call them Raila and Mjinga. We are not in campaign mood as we talk. We are we have to respect each and every one of us. Campaign iliisha, tukutane 2026 huko kama ni siku ya matusi. That was just what I wanted to say, Nyabaya, that hii mambo ya kudharau viongozi wengine kwa sababu ya affiliation yao lazima itakoma, lazima itakoma. Hata mimi mwenyewe, mimi saa hii William ni president na I support him, lakini nimemkataa kwa sababu za vitu anafanya, na sitafurahia mtu akimtusi pale. Hata huyo anamuita Sakayo, namkataza kwamba afuate katiba, amtoe pale kwa kiti. The floor is yours, Leo Nyabaya.
Thank you so much. Oh, there's something that we were saying here. I just want you to have a look at this. This is what I was telling you. Let me see if I can be able to make that image big enough. But I think you can be able to see that image over there. Corridors of power, in telling you the details as emerged that a top position figure received shillings 30 million US dollars in Dubai in April this year. It is rumored that the top figure was accompanied by a Nyanza MP of Somali origin. They both traveled to Dubai to meet the top government official for the days at the Hyatt Regency, that hotel there. So in the meeting, the top opposition figure agreed to call off the protest. Yeah, something like that. So what do you think is happening? What is taking place? What is it that we don't know?
For me, Nyabaya, I got this thing from my inbox. Somebody sent it to me. I'm
Yes.
wondering, because even from the news, the top news agencies in
Yes.
Kenya, I've not seen them publishing this thing. It is the corridors of power, as you have said.
Those are secrets.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe in that?
Oh, so that is why we are here to try. You see, Captain,
Yes,
we are here to try to get that which people don't know. We are here to try to maybe reveal some things that are hidden. Just like when you go to church, you have the priest. You know, you've been having that Bible. When you go to church, you have your own Bible. And these are Bible that maybe you've had from your childhood to when you are an adult. But when you go there, there's a priest there who will open those same verses that you've been reading, but they'll give you an interpretation that will make you realize that, okay, there's nothing you never knew. So that is what we are doing here. We are now the pastors here. We are now to tell these people, yeah, these corridors of power.
Before even you go, let me answer you.
Yes.
And I like the way you are answering me. Say that the people in the comment section and the people who are listening at us, maybe at the background or all whatever, that this Afrique 24 TV or Mutembe TV, whatever, is not partisan to any political affiliation. I was waiting for you to defend what I'm defending, but you are now telling us we are looking the truth. Tell them you are not in opposition and you are not in government.
We don't represent the views of
Yes,
opposition, neither do we represent the views of the government. We are just Kenyans like you. We are trying to analyze things. We are trying to give the view of things. And if you find that our view is really making sense, then you have to buy it. But if you have some sensible views that then you're also welcome to come and try to help us. We are all Kenyans. We are all in this. Like in this case, so many people are not aware. I'm shocked. Some have never seen it. But We are now trying to connect the dots. And if our dots are connecting, then why do you have to doubt it? Because we are told that they agreed to call off the demonstrations. Yes, the demonstrations were called off. And from that time, we've never had demonstrations. Apart from that, we've seen maybe that bipartisan talk taking place. The report was out, and this bipartisan talk, the people who are first presented the report was Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Though the people who participated in writing and gave their contributions, they knew what was in this talk, in this report. So when Raila and William Ruto received the report, both of them gave it a green light. Raila said, okay, it is okay, even though it doesn't cover everything that we wanted, but there are still some avenues that we can be able to use. William Ruto said that, okay, everything that is there is implementable, we are going to implement. But after that, we've seen some leaders coming out to tell us that, you see, this bipartisan talk, what is there is not what we expected, and we don't support it. And that one led to the headlines that we saw today, that there is somehow a fallout in Azimio, that Uhuru Kenyatta is falling out with Raila Amolo Odinga, though that is a story for another debate or for another discussion. So if you look at that, somebody will try to ask, is there anything between William Ruto and Raila Odinga that we don't know? Today, we also got some mixed reaction when Raila said that William Ruto is stoppable. So as you try to get convinced that these people are having something in common, something that we don't know, then again, Raila now comes out and tells you, no, this guy is stoppable. This guy is really doing this. So we are left speculating. So we cannot be able to connect these dots. I just want to see maybe, what do you think is happening? Do you think there is a way that we are going to have something like a handshake or some kind of changes in the structure of the government now that the report had proved that we're going to have the office of the leader of opposition, and we're also going to anchor in the constitution the office of the prime cabinet secretary? And remember, the leader of opposition is also going to have some deputies too, if I'm not wrong. So does it mean that when we should be expecting some changes in this January?
Nyabaya, are you there? Okay,
Hey,
good.
I'm really here listening to you.
Good. Very good. Very good. In fact, those changes, in fact, the president is making it to be more longer than the way we are expecting it. We need this reshuffle. If they have decided to work with Baba, we need a reshuffle, a very serious one. We need that reshuffle to cross-cut all the ministries. Coming to energy, we need the reshuffle. Coming even to Ministry of Agriculture, we need reshuffle. Coming to this ministry that is being done by Moses Kuria, we need a reshuffle there. These people are playing with us. It cannot be each and every time Ministry of Energy we are giving Kiprotich. Ministry of Energy we are giving Captain like me or Kosgei like me. Ministry of Energy we are giving Kiplagat. We have to reshuffle the thing and give the engineers who understand what is the meaning of being an engineer. You see, you just don't give me a minister because I know to dial star 544 hash and I buy you bundles. It cannot work like that. We are more than that. We need a very competent minister to work in the Ministry of Energy, to work in the Ministry of Internal Security, to work in the Ministry of Agriculture and the ICT sector. We don't need like these acrobatic leaders that we don't know what they are doing. In fact, some of them, even when you ask questions, somebody is telling you we have 2,000 culprits in Nigeria prison, and the land is 20,000 acres, which means every culprit has to have 5 acres of land. What does that mean for sure? You are in prison. How can you be given a land? You better give an example, better example than anything else, but than giving an example of somebody suffering in the prison custody to say that you have to go there to get land. That is being incompetent. Some people like Aisha Juma, I saw them the other day. dancing music that was criticizing the same government. They are in there and dancing and lifting hands. I don't know. Sometimes I don't. I maybe I don't know what's wrong in Kenya Kwanza. I don't know what's wrong with our president. Anyway, when the deputy president the other day come in and ask us that I saw somebody saying, "Oh, Kipchumba Murkomen should resign." Ati yeye sio yeye alinunua generator, ilinunuliwa na the previous government. The previous government is not the different government. The previous government is the same government that the president was the deputy president by then. You see, and the deputy president, if at all he is aware that that generator was not working during the government when he was the deputy, why he could have not? He could have fixed the issue. He could have not even had those things of having the blackout. And then later on we are told that sijui nini ilikuwa inapelekwa wapi hiyo masaa, sijui gold ilienda wapi mara nini. Tuko na akili sana. Tuko na akili. Sisi kama Wakenya tukiongeza moja na moja tunapatanga mbili. Sio moja na moja upate 11, hapana. Tunaongeza 1 + 1 tunapata ikiwa ni 2. Now later on 1 or 2 3 weeks utasikia kuna kitu ilipitia Kenya na ikaingia mahali fulani during that time of your gold, because even the other airports where those things were going, it will emerge. Where were you from? Where did you get this thing from? You see? Oh, they'll start making phone calls. Oh, Nairobi. Oh, JKIA, this and that. Sijui paka ikaenda juu, paka ikashuka chini, mara ikafanya nini? You see? But mambo itajulikana tu, itajulikana. We want somewhere nabaya whereby when you are in this platform, we do the platform with honesty. We don't have to do the platform when you are supporting one side, you are pinning the other side down, or you are in that partisan of other side. No, you are the leader, you are the senior controller of this platform right now.
So you say we have to be here sincerely, and if something is wrong,
Yes.
we say it is wrong. If it is
What is
right,
wrong
we
is
say
wrong.
it is right. Yeah, that is
Even
good. That
me
is
as
what
captain
making us
right now
Kenyans.
here, when I say something wrong, just correct me here. Don't wait me to finish the topic and then you go outside and talk about me. Tell me here when we are here that, Captain, this is wrong. You have done wrong here. And don't reward people because of the other names. You see the second name. Oh, this is my person. This is the person from my region. For what? For what? Do what is supposed to be
I
done.
get you. I get you. I get
Yes.
you. I get you. I get you.
Do
I
what is
get
supposed
you.
to be done with your senses, with your head, yourself. Do what you are supposed to do.
I
You
get you.
understand? The
I get you.
competition in the world now, people are moving forward. Even after internet, there is something more coming, better than the internet, that is speaking the truth. Leave alone this internet we are talking about right now here. The people are generating, the business machines, they are working more than how the world is moving to generate what it will do more than what we are doing even right now. Do what is supposed to be done when you are given the position. All the position, malisa kazi yako, henda mwingine aingie. Mbona hapa mambo hivi nini saa yote sijui nini mafuta sijui imeteremka na shilingi 5. Sasa shilingi 5 ni kitu ya kucelebrate. Mpaka mtu ananitumia inbox ati tumefurahi leo mafuta imeshuka na shilingi 5. What is that? What ai. Nabaya, continue. It's your floor now.
Oh, thank you viewers. Tuko hapa na captain, tunajaribu kuangalia hii maneno, tunaambiwa kuwa Ruto is stoppable na Ruto mwenyewe anasema he is unstoppable. So the question we are asking today is, Ruto is stoppable. Who will stop Ruto? At what time will we say enough is enough so that we can stop him? And how and why do we have to stop him? Karibuni sana, namuona pale Goodia. Good to see you this evening. Karibu sana na tuweze kuzungumza pamoja kama Wakenya. So if you're joining now, feel welcomed. This is Afrique TV. This is Afrique Political Talk. We have this kind of show every day from 10 p.m. up to midnight. Sometimes we even go past midnight. Sometimes we find that the 2 hours that we normally slot for this kind of talk is not enough, because we have a lot to speak as Kenyans. As Kenyans, we have to speak to each other so that we can be able to get the solutions that is going to move this country forward. And I'm also glad to remind you that tomorrow we are also going to have a special show, a special edition, and specifically Sundays, we normally have a special edition that is dubbed Unlocking the Land Dilemma in Kenya. For those people who joined last Sunday's show, they can tell you how interesting it was, how insightful it was, and people really learned a lot. And tomorrow, I'm having another guest, not Engineer Mora, but I'm having another guest who is also an expert in matters of land, and he is also working with the human rights. He's an activist, so he will tell us the rights, your rights when you are vacated from that land that you illegally own. Remember last Sunday, Mora told us why and how you can avoid having land that is illegal. But now, ukijikuta kwa hiyo mahali sasa umejikuta kwa shamba ndio hiyo ulichezwa, tomorrow we will tell you how you can be able to help yourself. So don't forget to join us tomorrow, and that is why I have to remind you to keep subscribing to Afrique Diaspora or Afrique 24 Hours TV, so that whenever we are live, you are always notified. So tuko hapa na Captain, tunajaribu tu kuangalia mambo, and people agreeing, and even you people on the comment section are telling me that Ruto is stoppable, and the keeper said something so much very important. He quoted Kipchoge Keino, who said that no man is limited, and the Kenyans have also said that Ruto is stoppable. He should not just stamp and tell us how his way will have. We as Kenyans have got powers, and when the right time comes, we will be able to use our powers, and we will be able to stop him. So keep it here, and I'm also updating you on what took place when the hero was laid to rest, that is the late Sifuna. And almost all speakers who spoke there, they spoke good of Sifuna, whom they said used to petition the parliament, used to present motions, used to ask questions, and stood for what was right. And whenever things went wrong, he never compromised. But the current leaders that we're having, and Raila had to say that we don't have a parliament. We're having a parliament that has been compromised. We're having a parliament that is just having people that are being used as rubber stamps. Let us listen to this speaker.
Tulipokuwa pale bunge, when we were with my brother Sifuna, na tulikuwa tunaomboleza, I got to learn of a man who is sleeping here today, about his spirit as a left-wing politician. And left-wing politics is not the most celebrated politics, kwa sababu left-wing politicians wanaweza kukuambia ukweli mpaka hiyo ukweli ikae ni matusi. Na hiyo ndio naona kwamba ndugu yangu Waluke imekuumiza kidogo. Ukweli inakaa kama matusi. As we are speaking right now, ukweli ambao uko ni kwamba bei ya mafuta iko juu. Ama namna gani? Bei ya mafuta iko wapi? Hiyo ukiambia hii serikali ukweli inauma Waluke. Ukweli wa pili ni kwamba bei wa unga uko juu. Ama iko juu hapa Western? Hiyo ukiambia Waluke hii serikali inatukanwa. Si ndio? Ukweli wa tatu ni kwamba serikali iko na mikakati na mipango ya kuuza Nzoia, ya kuuza Sony Sugar, ya kuuza KICC. Hii ukweli inakaa ni uchungu. I want to tell you the people of Western as I finish.
Yes, that is Migori Senator Eddie Okech Muok. So he was trying to speak to, he calls himself a General Waluke, who claimed that watu wanatusi serikali. Watu wanatusi serikali. Watu wakienda kwa mkutano wanasema, oh, serikali imeshindwa na kazi. Oh, serikali inapoteza stima. Oh, bei ya maisha. And Waluke was like, no, you guys, mutupeleke pole pole. Mbona mnatusi serikali? But now, in reference to the late Sifuna, he said that you have to play what is called left-wing politics, the kind of politics whereby you just have to say the truth, whether it is hurting, whether it is pleasing, you just have to say the truth and stand with the truth. So, Captain, do you think we should speak the truth to this government? And I know, I'm not saying that you're supporting the government, but now assume, I know there are people who are supporting the government, yeah? They are pro-government. So at what time should somebody who's pro-government should just step aside and say, no, even though I'm supporting this government, but what the government is doing is wrong. Na aseme, hii serikali ni yetu, tulichagua, lakini ilifaa iende hivi na hivi na hivi. Lakini sasa hivi, naona serikali inaenda kombo. Are people allowed to do that? Ama if you're supporting the government, you have to support the government. Hata ikifanya kitu mbaya na wewe useme tu serikali iko sawa. Serikali iko sawa. So which one do you think is the right thing that people should be able to do?
I think Nyabaya, kwanza shukran. I think kuna ile ukasumba ya kwamba mimi nilikuwa supporter wa UDA, and I think hata sio good thing, hata sahi bado ni supporter wa UDA. But most of our people, they fear to come in front and say our government is doing wrong, this and that. Wewe simama kidete na chama yako. Kama ni UDM, simama na UDM. Kama ni UDA, simama na UDA. Mimi nasimama na UDA, but they are doing wrong. They are doing wrong. Kuna mahali wanakosea. Si ati kila kitu wanafanya right. Pia Azimio pia, even though not Azimio, ODM. Yeah, I talk of ODM. I don't know Azimio because we have shares still kidogo pale ODM. ODM pale kidogo wanaanza kutuchezea paka na panya biashara nyingine hapo hatuelewi. Hii mambo na hii ya Dubai kupewa hiyo pesa, nashangaa mbona baba siku hizi ametulia sana. But anyway, naona ni kama pia tunachezwa pale. So watu wetu wameogopa kujitoa kipaumbele na waseme ya kwamba hapa kuna wrong doing. Wacha tumwambie mtu ukweli. Hapa kuna right doing, wacha tupongeze penye wanafanya ukweli. Mswahili husema kibaya chajiuza, kibaya sijui inafanyanga kujitembeza.
Wanasema kizuri chajiuza, kibaya chajitembeza. Meaning the good things just sell itself, but if it is bad, you have to sell it.
UDA wangu ndio hiyo. Alafu Nyabaya, are you realizing something last year and this year, the way when we are in this platform? Tuko na watu wangapi sasa kwa screen?
People are really tired with it. Yeah, actually.
Aya, watu walienda wapi? Unataka kuniambia wale watu walishindwa kuingia online?
No,
stima ilienda wapi? Mimi nauliza chirichiri. Stima iko wapi?
No, sasa hata kuna shida. I'm supposed to be having Jex here. He would not been able to get power.
Exactly. Hata umesema vizuri.
So shida
kuna mtu amenipigia anataka kuingia online lakini hakuna stima.
Hakuna stima. That's the problem. And specifically nowadays, you know, watu walitoka kwa hii mambo ya kununua bundles because it is really expensive. So watu waliweka kuna wifi, it's normally cheaper when you pay it monthly. So sasa zile stima inaenda na bundles. You cannot watch news, you cannot do anything. So hiyo ndio shida iko. Shida ni ya stima.
If I may ask you one question. Here, before we had telecom in Kenya.
Yes, we had telecom and telecom is still there.
Tukagenerate tukakuja sijui cancel ama sijui nini, ikabadilika mpaka saa hii ni Airtel alafu Safaricom. What can we do with this KPLC so that it cannot be the monopoly supplying power to our people?
That is what we
need
this
to be privatized in a way that wewe Nyabaya, kama tukiona service yako iko sawa tunakupatia kazi. Are you seeing?
Yes.
Lakini sasa tunapatia kazi serikali wanatukula. You know, it can be so extraordinary kwa mtu kama Ramesu Yegon juu sasa yeye labda anatumia ile sola ya biogas ile ya ng'ombe na anaongeza ya binadamu, lakini sisi wengine tunangoja stima bro. Tunataka maisha ile inafaa. Hii dunia tuna enjoy once and go, hatuwezi enjoy. Hakuna mahali pengine una enjoy stima, ni hapa duniani.
Wanasema mbinguni hakuna stima, mbinguni ni kuimba na kusifu.
Tunapelekwa mbinguni. Na imagine tena hii serikali ya UDA inasema aje?
Inatupeleka mbinguni.
Matatu.
Mambo ni matatu.
Na ya mwisho ni kwenda mbinguni.
Sasa mambo ni matatu.
Ukitupeleka
Umesema kitu
mbinguni
kingine
baya
muhimu.
sana, how can you work?
No, umesema kitu kingine muhimu Captain, about the Kenya Power, that we need to the problem with Kenya Power ni monopoly. So privatization and monopoly are two different things. Privatization ni ile mnachukua hii mnapatia mtu binafsi sasa na imani. So the problem is umechukua Kenya Power na ndio the only company yenye imekubaliwa kuuza stima Kenya. Umempatia Captain ama umempatia Alex pale, yeye ndio anaimanage na amejua vizuri ni yeye na ni yeye ako kwenye biashara.
Alex,
These are not going to be
Alex, mute.
Umechukua Kenya Power, it is a monopolized institution or company. Umepatia mtu binafsi, tuseme umepatia Ramej Singh. Singh amejua tu vizuri ni mimi peke yangu na supply power Kenya, na kampuni sasa ni yangu binafsi. Is this one not dangerous? Si ataamuka tu na tuongezee bei, ataamuka na azime stima. I don't know your take, but me I think what should be done, we should do away with monopoly. We allow other private investors wakuja na different companies, so tukue na zile kampuni mingi za power, alafu ndi hata tukiuza Kenya Power tukipatia private entity, already kuna some private players there. The same way we have Safaricom wakiamka leo waseme bundles wameongeza, tutahama tutaenda Airtel, tutahama tutarudi sijui fiber sijui turudi wapi. But what if now Kenya Power is private na wamesema hakuna stima, utahamia wapi? Anyway, wacha tukaribishe namuona Honorable LX. Karibu sana Honorable LX. What we're discussing, tunasema kwa Ruto is stoppable, and Raila said Kenyans are the ones who can stop Ruto and they're going to stop Ruto. So karibu sana, utuambie maoni yako. Alafu kule kwenye nyumbani pia niliona President Ruto alikuwa hapo, na tumeona Simba Arati amesema vizuri kuwa yeye bado ako ODM. Na hao bado ni watu wa ODM na wanangoja kupambana na Ruto 2027. Na amemwambia rais, ulitushinda kura. Ingawaje ulitushinda njia yenye umejua, whichever way you use, but ulitushinda. Amesema tulishindwa, ukweli tulishindwa, whichever way, hata kama ni kwa uwizi, but the bottom line ni tulishindwa kwa sababu hatukutangazwa. Na amemwambia saa hii sisi pia tunajipanga. Manake umejua Simbarati saa is the deputy chairman of ODM. So what is your take, Alex, as far as this stopping Ruto is concerned? Do you think we are going to stop him now ama tunangojea ile ya Simbarati ya 2027 ndio tuweze kumstopisha? Can you hear me? It seem Honorable LX ni kama
I think LX is busy somewhere.
Amekwama mahali, and as I wait for him, I just have I think one reminder from one governor, one powerful governor from Trans Nzoia, so we can listen to that, then we get back, we can take a break with that.
Wetu wajumbe ambao wako hapa, tuko na finance bill ambaye imetekelezwa 1/4 peke yake na mnapiga nduru. Just 1/4. Tunapiga nduru. Wajumbe wetu, do you need to say no? All you need ni kuelewa matatizo ya mwananchi hapa iko namna gani. Bana wafubwa, waleme, balozi bakaenda basa kuluta, basi kuatasi, waumia kweli kweli. Mimi nakaa mashinani kila siku, mimi siendagi Nairobi, nakaa huko. Ile tabu ambayo iko mashinani yake ya Mungu, kama ni viongozi, hatuwezi kuwa na time ya kulumbana. Tutakuwa na time ya kudiscuss ile takuamua watu wetu kutoka kwenye lindi la umaskini. Tulipata political freedom, lakini economic freedom is still elusive. Bubi bwenjala na wikura okolifwa na bantu bose bekure. That is the biggest challenge, ndio? Lakini ukweli ni kwamba ndugu yako akikula wewe ushibi. Lazima nyinyi wote mkule ndio mshibe.
Yes, thank you so much. Karibuni sana. So the guys who are joining us now, welcome to Afrique Political Talk. This is a talk that comes to you every night from 10 p.m. up to past midnight. So we are always here to try and bring some sense in the Kenyan politics. We don't represent the views of the government, neither do we represent the views of the opposition. We are just Kenyans who are trying to analyze and make a conversation out of what is happening in the country. We are trying to see ways in which we can have a better country for us all. And because we are Kenyans and Afrique TV is connecting Africa, we are having Kenyans from across the world. So we come together to try and think and put our heads together as Kenyans, irrespective of the political divide. Whether you belong to Kenya Kwanza, you belong to UDA, you belong to ODM, you belong to MDG, or any other political affiliation, even if you belong to Lejo Maria or you belong to Pastor Ezekiel Odera. So we welcome your views, and we don't take your views personal because everybody has got right to opinion. So karibuni sana, na hakikisha kwa wakati unajiunga nasi, you like the video, share and invite others. Namwona pale Ramesu Yegon, thank you so much for keeping the chat box lively. Namwona pale Maureen Wasawa, karibu sana. Jex is on the way. Hii shida ya stima imemzoea kidogo, lakini hivi karibuni ni kama natafuta sola, utamwona hapa on the screens. Karibu sana, na hakikisha kuwa Maureen, wakati unajiunga nasi, usijiunge nasi wewe peke yako. Hakikisha kuwa umekaribisha mgeni au rafiki mmoja, ili yeye pia akuje aweze kusikiza ni nini inaendelea Kenya. So this kind of conversation is just to help us, it's just to help us think as Kenyans and bring our heads together towards a prosper country. So I can see somebody, Afrique 24, karibu sana. Ramesu Yegon, I've already seen you. There's Kenyan Digital, there's Goodyear, good to see you this evening. Eugene is also there, and everybody else who is joining us on this broadcast. Have a seat and you can participate. There are so many ways you can participate in this conversation. You can participate by sending your comment on the chat box there in whichever channel you've joined. If you've joined us on Mutembei YouTube, if you've joined Leo TV, both YouTube and Facebook, or you've joined on Afrique YouTube and Facebook, on the chat box, you can be able to send your comment there and I'll be able to read it through. Apart from that, you can also use the links that you've sent on all the platforms and join the studio and be part of the conversation. Karibu sana Caleb Harvey. Caleb Harvey anasema kuwa maandamano. I think those are some of the ways in which Kenyans can be able to stop William Ruto. Manake Raila leo ni kama ametuachia ikitu. Amesema, I've given you the baton. Nyinyi kama Wakenya mko na uwezo ya kuondoa Ruto. Mimi nitawaonyesha tu how to do it. William Mwangi Mudhuma, karibu sana. I saying is Jex in Nakuru kwa stima huku inapotea. Yes, of course, you got it right. Jex is in Nakuru. Ako kwenye hiyo county ya ule mama anaitwa Susan Kihika. Yeah, ungewaje siku hizi she's not in public. I don't know what happened. Bado ana vita kidogo na ule Ngujiri mwenye alishindwa. So Jex is in Nakuru, and Nakuru there is no power. So you people should call out. You should call on this man called Chirchir Davis aweze kuwapatia power. Hii mambo ya mko na power inakuja ni kama chama, ile chama ya wanawake mnaendanga Wednesday, tena mtaenda sijui Friday. Ni tabia mbaya na hatufai kabisa kukubali kitendo kama hicho kifanyike. Havi, karibu sana, amesema ni maandamano. Ramesu unasema battery full. That is great. Battery full. Pia unaweza join pale. Jiunge nasi. Use that link and you join the studio so that we can be able
Nabaya,
to discuss
don't
together.
have time.
Yes.
Nabaya,
Yes.
you don't have anything to discuss with Chirchir, please. You don't have anything to discuss with Chirchir. We just want Chirchir to go home and the government to give us somebody else who is competent for that position. The stima ikipotea, si eti imepotea kwangu ama kwa mtu ya ODM ama kwa mtu ya chama gani. Our Kenyans are feeling it right now. You see.
That is true. Kenyans are feeling it.
They are feeling it right now.
And Kenyans are now calling
saizi
for
wanaibiwa.
aonyeshwe mlango.
We don't have anything to discuss with Chirchir. Chirchir to go home. We need somebody who is competent enough for that position.
I think I'll agree with you. Why do we need to have Churchill in that position? Because the first time, if it was the first time holding that kind of responsibility, then we'll say he's still learning. We give him time to learn. But Churchill was there in Uhuru's government, akashindwa. He's now back. So I think I'll echo your words that we don't need to negotiate with him. We just need to tell him that, man, we gave you this work, you are able to do it, bye-bye, you can leave it. We have so many Kenyans, we have millions of Kenyans who qualified, who can do it. Karibu sana Martha Waidera, Chirchiri za West, namuona pale anasema, Captain vipi? Captain ako sawa? Martha tuko salama kabisa, na anasema Jex amekaziwa na Chirchir hadi hawezi kuja kwenye show kwa sababu stima ilikuwa kidogo imeenda, lakini we are hoping that things get better na aweze kupata stima na ajiunge nasi, but so far he's on the way coming. He's looking for some alternative sources of energy, na hivi karibuni atakuwa anajiunga nasi na aweze pia kutoa sauti Chirchir asikie kuwa anatukosea bana, anatukosea sana, anatukosea. So Captain, umesikiza what the governor of Trans Nzoia said. Amesema kuwa we don't need Luya unity so that we can vote against the finance bill yenye naenda kuumiza wananchi. We only need to know what mwananchi anahitaji. In other words, alikuwa anasema we don't need to say sisi kama wabunge wa Jaluo, sisi kama wa Kalenjin, sisi kama wa Kikuyu. No, hata kama wewe ni Mkikuyu ama wewe ni Mkamba, you only need to know raia anahisi vipi for you to make the right decisions. Na akazidi akasema, wakati ndugu yako amekula ni yeye anashiba, ili ushibe lazima mkule wote. So for those people who keep on saying hii serikali ni yetu, hii serikali sisi ni number 2, kwa sisi watu wa Mlima Kenya ni number 2 kwa hii serikali, sisi watu wa Ponde la Ufa ni number 1 kwa hii serikali. At what point do you feel that serikali ni yenu? Kwa sababu ndugu yako ni CS pale, akikula wewe pia unakula. Gavana amesema vizuri, saa zile ndugu yako amekula ni yeye anashiba, sio wewe unashiba. Ndio ushibe lazima mkule wote. Sasa hii kasumba ya kusema hii serikali ni yetu, hata ikifanya vibaya sisi tunasema tu serikali ni yetu, lakini bado tutaipigia kura, tunailinda. I think it shows that Kenyans sisi ni wajinga, na inafaa tuache hiyo tabia. Tuseme hii serikali ni ya Wakenya wote, na kama kitu ni mbaya Wakenya wote wanaumia, kama kitu ni mzuri Wakenya wote wana benefit. If today kuna stima, kama sasa hii stima imepotea, si imepotea kwa nyumba zote, iwe ulipigia UDA ama hukupigia UDA. Bei ya mafuta ikipunguzwa, sinapunguziwa kila mtu. So do we need to keep on say serikali ni yetu, tupige kura kwa sababu mtu wetu ndiye ako pale? Is it the right time that we get out of that? As we also welcome wale wanatu join, na muona Elizabeth Nganga pale, karibu sana, tuko salama. The conversation is on. We are saying Ruto is stoppable. And how are we going to stop Ruto? Number 1, we are agreeing that the only way to stop Ruto is that we realize that we are Kenyans and this country belongs to all of us. This country doesn't belong to me as a Luo or to me as a Kalenjin. So when William Ruto, who is my fellow Kalenjin, is a president, he's not my president as a Kalenjin, but he's the president of Kenya. So if he's doing wrong thing, I should stop looking at him as a Kalenjin, but I start looking at him as William Ruto and judge him based on his actions, not based on his tribe. That's the only way. The first way ya kumaliza na kustop Ruto ni kuanza kufikiria kama Wakenya, na tuache kufikiria kiukabila yetu, kidini, na pengine ki-estate ile mahali tunatoka, na pengine kilugha ambayo tunazungumza. Captain, maoni yako ni yapi?
Nabaya, asante, lakini hiyo video haingecheza huku penye niko, kuna hiyo copyright ni kali sana. Ilikataa kabisa, haikubaliki. Hata iliandika pale juu, kuna vile iliandika tu. You understand what I mean? But kulingana na vile umeeleza, itafika wakati kwamba hata mimi kama captain nikikuja kuomba kura na ile ekaya zangu za abunwasi za pesa mfukoni, kuna mtu atasimama pale na atapinga, lakini sitakuja kidete na nimwambie wewe unanipinga kama nani? Who are you? Unapiga kelele hapa kama nani? Na hii ni mkutano yangu. Ita mkutano yako pale, enda piga kelele huko. Sio lazima ikue kwamba kwa sababu ni Mkale mwenzangu ama ni Mjaluo mwenzangu ama ni Mkikuyu mwenzangu ati nitamtetea. Hapana. Ndio maana hapo Kenya unaona penye tunaanguka kabisa sana na hatutasonga mbele. Hatuko vibaya sana. Hatuko vibaya sana, lakini ukiangalia penye tuko, lazima tuache hii tribal politics whereby tunasema huyu ni mtu wetu, huyu ni mtu ule. And I think that's come even from my backyard, Nyabaya, that my people wamekataa serikali kabisa ya UDA. Mpaka wanataka hata hii mambo na kama hii BBI kama itakuja ama whatever the case that they will call it, ikuja hata waseme presidency ni 3 years. Hii mambo ya miaka 5 ni mingi sana. Cherargei pale alikuwa anaongea ndoto zake za usiku, anataka 7 years, lakini sisi wananchi tunataka ikue miaka 3 waende tulete serikali nyingine. And we will have to be truthful to each other, to tell ourselves the truth that it is not a must that because you are the presidency for the first 5 years, you qualify to be there for 10 years. We have to kill the thing. We have to kill the thing that you are there for 5 years. Umefail, we have that power and energy and voting system to remove you in that 5 years. Isikue ni pale tuko na mtu akona kipara ina shine, atatangaza mtu anataka ama mtu ataendelea for 10 years kwa sababu ati ni automatically lazima mtu aende 10 years. There is nowhere. There is no in our constitution that says we have to be there for 10 years. No. It is 5 years, go home. We bring another person. But because of this incumbency thing, someone is taking the advantage na anachukua kura bila anataka. Anatawala another 10 years. Nilisikia the other day even the deputy president saying sijui miaka 5 ni ya kufanya nini, alafu hiyo ingine 5 ni ya kufanya sijui kazi gani. It is very hard. It is very hard. We are going forward na internet. Tunasonga mbele na kuna wakati itakuwa term of presidency, not even by the constitution but even by ourselves kama wananchi tutasema 5 years is enough, enda nyumbani. Ama tuseme 2.5 years, hiyo umemaliza miaka yako 5, enda nyumbani. Ndio isikue 10. Tunanyanyaswa zaidi. Sasa ukifikiria saa hii chirichiri stima saa hii inapotea kwa 1 year peke yake wakiwa serikali. Tukifika 2023 tutakuwa wapi? Nini 2024 2025 tutakuwa wapi? Watu watakuwa hata wamesima kila kitu, hata wanasima mpaka State House yote hakuna. So we need to be serious on what we are discussing and what we are doing for our people. I see somebody like Ramesu Yegon, bro, wewe cheka tu hapo, lakini ile siku itakuramba ushangae. Saa hizi haijakugusa bado, you are still young maybe. Haujajua what's happening in the country. I've been seeing you are complaining about CG Captain had a drink at the pub before he came on. Hala? It's okay, no problem. If I had a drink, no problem. That's up to you. People like Leo Nyabaya, I've been here with them. They understand me very well. I hit the nail on the head. Mwende mtanganya William Ruto kule, mkimwambia umefanya vizuri hapa, umefanya vizuri pale, lakini hamujui mnamdanganya. Tutawaambia ukweli hapa. Ile wakati mwingine si ndio tulikuwa serikali na tuliwapigia kura. Lakini I had a friend of mine from Ukambani, Nyabaya. He called me personally na akaniambia, sasa nyinyi wenye mlipigia serikali the other time hamutapigia serikali. Sisi wewe tulikuwa opposition tunapigia serikali kura. Nyinyi mpiga opposition. Nataka tuwapigie kura, msikie ile uchungu tunapitia saa hii. Hatutaki hiyo miaka 5 tena iende bure. Tukae kwa hiyo serikali.
No, that Captain nikuulize tu, that sounds funny. I even as I welcome our viewers kindly, karibuni sana. We are just having some sober conversation. Tunazungumza tu kama Wakenya. Hatuzungumzi kama serikali wala hatuzungumzi kama upinzani. Na kama Wakenya tunaweza pinga zile vitu tunahisi kuwa sio mzuri, na pia tunaunga mkono zile sera za serikali tunaona kuwa zinasaidia. Ndiposa tunauliza William Ruto alituambia kwa yeye ako unstoppable, lakini sisi kama Wakenya tunasema kwa huyu jamaa ako stoppable, tutamkomesha. Na ni ili tuweze kumkomesha lazima tujue ni kwa nini tunamkomesha, ni jinsi gani tutaweza kumkomesha, na ni lini tutamkomesha. Kuna njia mingi za kumkomesha, mmojawapo ni kutompigia kura, na hapo ndio tunazungumzia na ni nini inafaa tufanye ili tukose kumpigia kura. Kuna wale walimpigia kura kwa sababu waliona sera zake ni mzuri, lakini sasa hivi hizo sera hazisikiki. We are not feeling them. So what do we do? Next time you can't vote for them again. And somebody is saying that wale wenye hawakumpigia kura ndio wataweza kumpigia, na wale walimpigia kura sasa hawatampigia kura. Ngoja atatuelezea ni kwa nini anasema tutafanya hivyo. Karibu sana, namuona Mary Wekesa. Karibu sana. You're saying you saw Jex in the previous show, man. Jex was there in the previous show. Even today, Jex is supposed to be in today's show, and I think if he gets power anytime from now, he will join. It is just a matter of power. Lakini yupo hii show kila mtu kitaka kutazama. Ukiona watu wamepunguka hivi, jua kuna shida mahali. Specifically if you are in Nairobi or in Nakuru, the major towns in Kenya, they are having some power outrage, and specifically, you know, this is a weekend, and in this weekend maybe watu walitumia power sana, manake Chelsea pia naambiwa leo iliweza kupiga watu, na ndiposa unaweza sikia kelele. Halafu Man City managed to draw. So wale wafuasi wa Man City, kuna game kubwa kesho ambayo will determine ile game Arsenal wanaenda kucheza, halafu Manchester United pia wanaenda kukutana pale na Liverpool. Na kuna mtu alikuwa anasema ni wakati sasa Arsenal wanafaa kuombea Manchester United waweze kupiga Liverpool, kwa sababu Liverpool ni wapinzani pale, wako nao hapa na pale. Lakini mwingine akasema mimi siwezi shabikia Manchester United. Kama kupigwa kwa Manchester United itafanya Arsenal ikose kuchukua hiyo trophy na Liverpool ichukue trophy, basi liwe liwalo, wacha Manchester United ipigwe. Lakini hiyo hatutaki kuweka hapa kwa siasa, kwa sababu wengine pia wameleta hiyo rivalry kwa siasa. Wanasema mimi na UDA hatuwezi patana na mtu wa UDA na such kind of stories. Ndipo tunasema hapa we are making it free and fair. Every opinion counts, and nobody is going to victimize you based on your opinion. Sio makosa kushabikia UDA. Kila mtu ana akili huru na anaweza kufikiria. Vile sio makosa kushabikia ODM ama Azimio. Pande zote wako na strength zao na wako na weaknesses zao. Sasa sisi kama Wakenya nafaa tuangalia. Tunaangalia tu which one is good and which one is bad. So as you join me, ensure you like the videos and you also share with your friends. And if you want to join me in the studio, I've shared the link there. Captain, tuendelee.
And Leo, why are these people in comment section cannot join us on live? What are they complaining on comments?
Oh, they're also giving their views there. They're also giving their views there, and that is why we normally say you can do it. There are people who are good in writing. There are people who are good in speaking. So, mtu akishajua ile sekta yake.
Complaining of my Coca-Cola here. I don't know what to do with him. I don't understand.
You're gone. Achana na kile mtu anakula. Concentrate on what mtu anasema. Tafadhali. Usifanye tuanze kuleta watu wa health, tuanze kupima watu wakikuja hapa wapime unakula nini na unaikula wapi. Good year. Karibu sana, tunakuona pale comment section na tunashukuru sana, and we do appreciate your interaction. The more you comment, the more the show gets interactive. Just comment there. There's no negative comment, there's no positive comment. All comments are comments. So we treat them
anyway,
the way
Nyamaya, I was trying to say
that yes.
I was trying to say that there's a friend of mine from the opposition side. The last year, he's telling me that he cannot even be asked to vote where. He's voting for this government 2027. Then I told him, no, bro, for me, I'll be voting the other side. Then he said, no, bro, he's now campaigning for me to vote for the government. So that we feel that pinch the way they are feeling right now. You see? And they say, tell even William Ruto not to come to some of those parts of the opposition side, like Mombasa, Eastern side, Kisumu, to come and campaign. No, we'll vote for him. We want these people who voted for him to have it, to have that pain and feel it for the next 10 years. So for
And
now, your question as it is.
as you say that, kuna kitu mtu anasema hapa. I was saying something that I think we discussed it before, that opposition is dead and gone. And if you look at the newspapers today, they are saying that there is end of Azimio. And I know when you talk of Azimio, everybody knows that when you talk of Azimio, you're talking of opposition. And even Raila himself confirmed that they're in opposition. And maybe for the benefit of doubt, I'll just play that one so that when I say opposition, people know clearly what I mean when I say opposition, and they know that it is not my words. If you talk of Azimio, we mean opposition.
Baba kwa kisa blessing. Kimi bro ruwa. Pakaribu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hero Medi. Assalamualaikum.
You need to know that the cost of living is not a responsibility of the opposition. It is the responsibility of the government in power. As the opposition, we have a responsibility to keep them on check and keep on telling them that the cost of living is very high. Kenyans are actually demanding reduction of cost of living. And during those talks, our delegation made it very, very clear that they were not happy with what Kenya Kwanza was doing, refusing to reduce particularly taxes on commodities like on fuel, reducing the VAT on a number of food items, and they also actually suggested that the cost of specific items be reduced. But the Jubilee government, or the ODM, the Kenya Kwanza or Kenya Kwisha government refused adamantly, saying that it is their responsibility and they will do it in their own fashion at their own time. As we will continue to keep them on check, and we will not tire, and all the time reminding them that the Kenyans are suffering. I'm saying that the donkey is no longer just tired. The donkey has fallen down.
Looking for a trusted site to grow your money? At Fair Crash, we've got you covered. Use M-Pesa to deposit and withdraw money directly from your Fair Crash account for fast and reliable transactions.
All right, guys, the main reason why I played that video is because I'm bringing up some talk here on introducing a question on, is the opposition dead? And I wanted to tell you that when I talk of Azimio, I refer to Azimio as opposition. So I don't want to be accused of saying that Azimio is opposition when it is not. So I wanted to play for you that video where Raila himself is confirming that indeed they are the opposition, and he's saying that their role as opposition is not to reduce the cost of living, but it is the role of the ruling government, which in this case is Kenya Kwanza, that he also refers to as Kenya Kwisha. All right, so back to the question. They are saying that Azimio is dead. Opposition imeisha. There is cracks in Azimio, and it's like inaanguka. Captain, is it true
Nyabaya,
that...
let me come first to the video, because
okay.
I see you are trying to mix some issues here. As per the
Okay,
video,
it's okay.
I want us to concentrate on the video because...
Okay, let's start with the video, then we will look at the matter of opposition dying later.
Baba
Let's
said
look
himself,
at the video now.
Baba said himself that the cost of living is the responsibility of the government. The government right now is the UDA, Kenya Kwanza.
Yes.
They are supposed to see the cost of food, that is the cost of fuel, unga, and everything. All of us, we know in Kenya, unga is the main thing that we are using.
Yes.
And that is not the cost, the case of opposition side. It is for the government.
Yeah.
But right now, as we are talking, even though we are in the harvesting season and soon it is ending, the cost of unga is just coming down a bit. But that is not what we expect from this government. The cost of unga has to be even less than 100 shillings to be almost like 80, you see. So when we talk of the cost of living, really, Baba, the way he has talked there, I don't know when was that video, but the way you have played.
No, it was this week. This week, he was in Migori. I think it's 3 days ago, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that is now what we can say. When Baba is talking of the cost of living and talking of this government, him and the president are brothers. There is nowhere we can mention William Ruto without talking of Raila Odinga. There is no way we can mention UDA without talking of ODM.
Yes, they are brothers, but one is leading a ruling party and the one is leading opposing party. So what do you mean?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When they come here and tell us that the cost of living is under the government, so what is under opposition? He did not define
the opposition is just to push and remind the government.
To criticize the government.
To criticize the government, yes.
That is what he meant.
Of which they are doing, of which you've said as opposition.
And he's doing best, eh? It is okay on that. But how can we arrest our case in this government? How can we arrest? The Constitution itself says no Kenyan should sleep angry. I can move to court and take the government to court. Niseme kwamba nimelala njaa. Who has done that before? Ni nani amepeleka serikali Kenya kwamba
that is in Kenya?
Nimekuja kufunga serikali juu nimelala njaa. Kuna mmoja.
Kama uwezi funga serikali kwa sababu imekunyang'anya pesa, wewe utafunga serikali umelala njaa.
Kwa sababu ya njaa. Kwa sababu ya njaa. Alafu tunakuja kujidanganya hapa ati sijui Asalas, sijui ODM, sijui nini. Anyway, I don't have a problem with ODM or Asalas, eh? But we need to fix this government kwa sababu Baba angeingia serikali yake hii ya saa ya opposition. Tungekosa hiyo elfu yake alikuwa anasema, na tungekosa saa hii tungekuwa kwa hii platform tukiuliza elfu tunataka hiyo elfu. Am I sure?
Sasa tungekuwa tunapiga kelele sana. Kwanza tungekuwa na kitabu na kalamu, Baba 6,000 ya Desemba haijaingia. Unangoja lini? Yes.
No, kwa sababu the government ile walituambia mambo yao ya pesa mfukoni
watadeliver. Pesa kwa mfuko walifanya Wakenya walienda kushona zile trousers ziko na mfuko mingi, manake serikali imesema pesa mfukoni.
Pesa mingi.
Kila kijana anashona trouser iko na mfuko. Sasa hakuna pesa mfukoni. Mama mboga aliambiwa baada ya miezi 6 hiyo nini yake itakuwa supermarket. Bado hatuoni supermarkets. Kuna mtu aliambiwa ikifika Disemba mwaka huu kila Mkenya atakuwa na NHIF, utakuwa unaenda kwa hospitali unatibiwa bure. Bado tunaona WhatsApp group za kulipa mtu amefungiwa hospitali kwa sababu ya malaria na hospitali ni za serikali. Bado tunaona watu wanakufa kwa sababu wamekosa matibabu. Na hii NHIF ilienda wapi? Walisema kila mtu atakuwa na NHIF. Hawakusema utalipia.
Kabisa. So what I'm trying to check and see.
So tuseme serikali imeshindwa na kazi ama tuseme opposition imeshindwa na kazi? Hapa ni nani ameshindwa na kazi? Ni opposition ama ni serikali?
Hakuna mtu ameshindwa na kazi Nyabaya. Opposition hajashindwa na kazi, serikali haijashindwa na kazi.
Basi shida iko wapi? Ni Wakenya wameshindwa na kazi.
Wameshindwa kukula. Ukiona wanaanza kupigana wameshindwa kukula, wanatukula. Are you seeing?
Sasa shida iko wapi?
Shida iko kukula. Wanatukula badala ya kudeliver to our people.
Sasa nani atatuokoa raia? Nani ataokoa raia sasa?
Nyabaya, not Nyabaya, what's the name? Ramesu Nyagon. I have all citizenship, bro, and I have rights to talk about my people in Kenya. You don't tell me of Irish whatever thing. I have rights to talk and represent my people from wherever I am. I cannot see my people suffering and then I just live here and take it everything to
No,
be okay.
Captain,
No.
wacha nikusaidie hapo kidogo. Ramesu, leo tumekuwa na deputy president, na mwambia wale wa Kenya wenye wako in diaspora, kwa sababu kwamba Kenya sahi kuna shida. Nyinyi msikuje, lakini mtafute pesa na mulete huku, manake amelilia Kenyans in diaspora, we need their money. Wacha nikukumbushe. So this is the time that Kenyans in diaspora, they have a say in this government. The government depends on you. Na hadi serikali mwabembeleza, kama uko nje ya Kenya, kuna shida, usirudi. Wewe tafuta pesa, ututumie huku. Na
exactly. Kwamba tafuta pesa bro.
Please.
Tafuta pesa.
This is your
home. Na
home.
comments hapa, ukiwa na pesa
East or west, home is. And at the end of it all, let us not pretend. It is the desire of every Kenyan working out there one day to come back home and retire here. You must prepare for that retirement. You don't want to come back and find it the way you left it. Please, come back home, put money here. Don't come yourself. We don't need you here right now. We have enough problems with employment. We want you to stay out there, but we want you to send money here. But you come back home eventually.
Uski deputy president akiongea?
Nikwambia copyright huku ni kali sana.
Oh, no wonder, kwa sababu nashindwa ni kama usiona. Nimeelewa. So that is what is happening. So Captain, having said that, umesema opposition ijashindwa kazi, wanafanya kazi. Serikali ijashindwa. Alafu ni kama wananchi sisi ndio tunachezewa. That one I get you. I don't know what guys have to say there on the comment section. Wananchi tunachezewa. Na ndiposa siku ya leo Raila akawaambia Ruto anaweza ondolewa na Wakenya. So Wakenya ni sisi. So inamaanisha wananchi ile siku tutachoka tuseme tumechezewa ya kutosha, basi tutajua kile tutafanya. So away from that, I asked you a question that you are avoiding, but I'll still have to ask it.
No problem.
Is Azimio dead?
I think your question is very direct, that even I cannot beat about the bush.
Or is opposition dead? Dead in that imeisha. Hiyo muungano haiko tena. Imeyumba.
Literally, Nyabaya, I think Azimio is dying. When we talk of Azimio, and we talk of opposition, I think you mean two different things, as Nyabaya, according to me.
No, I mean the same thing. That is why I played with that video.
Opposition is the government, and Azimio is a collection of parties. Do you get me?
Oh, okay. Now let me now develop the question.
Yeah, frame your question now, and then I'll answer.
Frame my question. Okay, I'm asking you: is Azimio dead? Why do you have to say this? They are speaking different languages. It's a coalition of parties. We are having NAC Kenya, we are having Jubilee, we are having ODM, we are having those other small parties that you know. But when we had this national dialogue committee, they had members there. And when the report came, the leader of Azimio, who is also the leader of ODM, said, yes, the report is okay. The party leader of Jubilee is having some reservations. The party leader of NAC is speaking a different language. The party leader of DAP Kenya, that is Eugene Wamalwa, did not sign the document. The party leader of Wiper signed the document, but is silent on the issue. So what is not happening?
For me, I think I see Azimio is finished. Because you remember the other day, even the meeting or those people at the Bunge la Wananchi ya Jacaranda, waliambia NAC, I don't quote anybody, just NAC, that call your supporters if you are not complying with what has come from bombers by partisan talk. You understand what I mean? Call your supporters tuingie kwa street. Lakini wao kama ODM wako satisfied. What does it mean even if it is you? It is qualifying to answer the question that is Azimio finished or is Azimio still complying? Are you getting me?
Then, yeah, and people also saying this, that, Azimio is not a political party. It is a coalition that was formed to win the 2022 general elections. And it is obvious that after these elections, these parties will always cease to exist. Now people go back to default. Now people go back to their ODM, to the NAC, and people are now free. They can now date afresh. You understand? They can now date afresh as they plan for 2027. So is it that it is happening so fast, or it ought to have happened before?
And not so fast. It is too late. It's happening too late.
It's happening too late, yeah?
Yeah. When things have taken another shape.
Okay.
That is why now they are departing their ways.
So now we should be seeing parties realigning, like making some new formations for the next general election. Like they say, okay, now Kenya, you came, but your numbers did not match this. So instead of taking now Kenya, let us pick this Maendeleo chap, they performed. Is it a transfer window whereby people can now start signing in new players?
But you see, Nyabaya, one thing again that you are failing to tell even people and to understand is that we need to compare Azimio with Wiper, not even NAC. Because Wiper, we have some senators, we have some MPs, we have some MCAs, we have some women reps from Wiper. But in NAC Kenya, we don't have any leader. Only the leader of the party. But I'm seeing our brains, we are so much obsessed with NAC Kenya being like the second party after ODM in Azimio, which is not the case because they don't even have any MP or even MCA. Yeah. You see?
So I get you.
We have to discuss this thing in a point whereby we are discussing Azimio facing on the NAC whatever that thing and Wiper. Wiper has even that strong ownership of Azimio than NAC. That is after ODM. ODM being the father of this party, of this coalition. You see?
Yeah.
But we are now being like manipulated, or we are being forced to understand that NAC being the party on Azimio, we are forced to accept that Azimio now is formed by ODM, NAC, Wiper, instead of ODM and Wiper and then NAC later on. Are you seeing? That's why the people told the leader of the NAC that you are free, call your supporters, go to the streets. If you are not satisfied with what was delivered in Bomas.
Yeah, I get you. That
is it.
So we should start saying that bye-bye to Azimio. Maybe we wait for another formation that is going to be maybe brought.
Partisan is dropping, and even next year by January, all those people, they are departing their ways.
Oh, all right. I get it. Those people are departing their ways, so you should now get ready that we are going to have maybe a new formation, because as it stands, it seems that the bipartisan talk report is also going to, what do I have to say? It's also going to divide this coalition.
Of course, it has divided already because see now,
people are giving different opinions, and there are people from the same party. They're giving different views as far as the report is. There are people who are agreeing with the report, and there are people who are disagreeing with the report. Like, let me just play for you this. I think this is Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo. As we take a small break and we proceed with this, let me just play for you this.
Including on our own side. Now, in the absence of our leader of minority, let me take that wrong. Mr. Speaker, for starters,
be careful about taking people's positions.
You know, this is, as you know, as a lawyer, I'm holding brief. Very briefly, I'm holding brief. Mr. Speaker, let me issue two cautionary statements. First, of the 4 issues that have been raised in the President's memorandum, 3 issues would expressly require referendum. Only one relating to the funds, especially CDF funds and the oversight fund, would not require referendum under Article 255(3). Insofar as the issues on composition of parliament in terms of gender, the issues in introducing CSS to the floor, the issue of introducing a leader of opposition, there are issues that touch on the sovereignty of the people, they touch on the structure of governance and the system of government, they touch on the functions and composition of parliament, and expressly they would require referendum. So as we discuss this, we need to bear that in mind very clearly. It's not an easy path. And the question I want to issue secondly, Mr. Speaker, is that as members of parliament, it is good to look for the interest of many people. But of paramount importance is the interest of our own citizens, of our own voters, who are the beneficiaries of these funds. I'd like it to be made clear, and honorable member said that so far the CDF funds are unconstitutional. That is not true. CDF funds are constitutional, and there is no court anywhere so far that has found the 2015 Act unconstitutional. What we are doing is we want to entrench the provision such that we cater for much more. Our sisters who are representing the counties have the NGAF. NGAF has not been properly included. We want to include the NGAF, we want to include the other funds that Senate oversight, so that we call them the oversight funds. That's why we are amending the Constitution. Let it not be supposed that we are amending it because we think that is unconstitutional. We will be shooting ourselves in the leg. And for our own purposes, I would really urge members that we need to remove that bit of the memorandum that deals with the CDF funds and the oversight funds, because we were already on it. And let's use it, because as part of the ad hoc committee, we have already designed, we've gone much further than this memorandum. We have already drafted the amendments that are necessary to the Constitution and which do not require referendum. Let us move with speed, run with that, and leave these other issues that might raise partisan politics outside first. Let us take care of our interest before we take care of other interests. And if you don't heed my caution, watch this space. If you maintain this oversight fund together with these other 3 issues, they will be lost in space, and the consequences will be quite dire because we are racing against time. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, the idea of amending the Constitution is not a bad one. Our Constitution is ripe for amendment. 12 years after any Constitution is enacted, it is good for citizens to sit together and look at what is bad, what is good. But amendment of any Constitution should always be bipartisan. It should always involve the public. In fact, it's not just bipartisan in Parliament, it is beyond Parliament. All previous attempts to amend the Constitution by President Moi then and thereafter by President Kibaki failed because the initiation was not bipartisan. I want to caution that this initiative, insofar as it's not bipartisan, it is the wrong way to look at amendment to the Constitution. We require a bipartisan approach. And I want to tell my brothers and my colleagues in the Justice Committee, right from the word go, this initiative will fail on 2 accounts. The first is the account on which BBI failed. And it's not saying that I agree with the Supreme Court. I actually don't. But they pronounce themselves. And that is as it is now. Insofar as this initiative is expressly by the President, and this memorandum starts by actually paragraph 1 and 2 restating the date when the President said it, and then attaching a copy of the President memorandum, it will fall afoul the determination of the Supreme Court in terms of initiation. It makes no difference that that was a popular initiative, because even here, the argument will be, but if it is a parliamentary initiative, the President is not a member of Parliament. So how will you say it's a parliamentary initiative and it is initiated by someone outside Parliament? And in both cases, whether it's popular or parliamentary, it passes through Parliament. The second mistake was the President writing to the Speaker. The Speaker is a neutral entity in this House. The person to initiate would be the leader of majority, the leader of minority, or an individual member. But expressly, the leader of majority now introduces the motion, but the motion is reading that it was written to the speaker. So there are already two technicalities that makes this initiative run afoul of the law. Let me examine two things now. One, the idea of the leader of opposition. Mr. Speaker, this is a bad idea. It is an idea that is not well-founded, either in terms of constitutionalism or in terms of purpose. And it does not take cognizance of Article 108 and Article 130. Let's be clear, Mr. Speaker. In this House, there is no government, there is no opposition, as per the Constitution. If you look at Article 130, national government comprises the president, the deputy, and the cabinet, not the leader of majority, not any of you here in Parliament. And when we come here as minority, we don't come here as opposition, we come as minority. The word opposition does not appear anywhere in the text of the Constitution. So how can you introduce a leader of an non-existent entity? Honorable Wanyonyi, I'm telling you now, I'm helping you understand the law, so just listen. That idea is precipitated on a misinformation and misunderstanding that those who are in the majority are here on behalf of the executive, and those in the minority are here on behalf of the opposition. That is not so. In fact, the whole idea of this presidential system is that we, as a parliament, check on the executive as a collectivity. The moment you start trying to bring the leader of opposition, you run into many problems. The first problem is you can actually have a parliament where the majority has not produced the presidency. Can you imagine a situation where if we had maintained what we believe is ours, Azimio is the majority in this House, and Kenya Kwanza is the minority? Can you imagine a situation where then Azimio would have the presidency, then you get another person who is in Azimio to come be the leader of Kenya Kwanza in Parliament? Isn't that ridiculous? It is based on the assumption that whoever produces a majority in Parliament will always be the president. It is not so. Secondly, if you look at 108, there's the leader of majority, there's the leader of minority. So I suppose you then remove the leader of minority and replace it with the leader of opposition. And what do you do with the leader of majority? Do you still call him or her leader of majority? You'll call them leader of government business, and there's no government in Parliament. But what if the person who's run up is actually an independent? Because the Constitution allows. So you run as an independent, and then you get the second highest votes. Then now you come to Parliament to head a party which you are not part of. It is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Let us rethink this thing seriously. The question of having a leader of opposition because we want accommodation is a question we must examine deeply and not artificially. If we want a parliamentary system, let us be honest and adopt that system.
All right, Captain. I think that is what we are discussing. We are going to have a BBI-like document. And that one still makes me tell Kenyans that there is no change. We only changed the names of the parties, but we are still having the same people. The same BBI that was initiated by Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga is the same thing that is being initiated by William Ruto and Raila Odinga. So these people are the same. So the only people who can remove William Ruto, the only people who can stop William Ruto is Kenyans, majority of Kenyans, not specific individuals. I now agree that William Ruto is stoppable, but he can only be stopped by Kenyans, not specific individual. Captain,
But
I can see we are having 2 minutes. Yes.
Is it through amendment of the Constitution, or we are going for a referendum to stop William Ruto?
That is what I want to tell you. We cannot stop William Ruto through referendum.
Even amendment is okay.
Amendment of Constitution is going to happen in Parliament, and you've seen the Parliament that you're having. The current Parliament is not representing the interest of citizens. Even if they wanted to lower the cost of living, the MPs had got power. All these problems came from the bills that they passed in Parliament. And that is why Natembeya told them that you guys, you don't need Luya unity, or you don't need to come from a specific community so that you vote against that bill. You only need to understand the problems of the people who elected you. And that is something they failed to understand. So how are Kenyans going to do it? Kenyans, I've seen somebody is talking about maandamano. But the only sure thing that Kenyans can do is through the ballot. And we only have a ballot after every 5 years. When it comes to impeaching the president, the people who can initiate a bill to impeach the president are the members of parliament. And they've already failed, so they cannot do it. They cannot do it. I can see.
Nabaya, there is nowhere you can tell somebody like what is the name of this MP for Langada to impeach the president?
Jalang.
Jalang
cannot impeach he cannot impeach the president.
Because those are some of the people that we are relying on them.
So that is, it tells you that we've placed our hopes on people who doesn't understand. They don't value the mandate that we've given them. They don't value the mandate of what we've given them. So that's the problem that we have. Kenya Rebellion, karibu sana, ingawaje umekuja kama tunaenda tukiendanga, lakini karibu. Ruto is stoppable. Can you tell us if it is possible and how possible it is?
Oh, munafunga show?
No, hatufungi show na uko hapa.
Kuja hapa kama umenyoa nywele wewe kuja. Kama umenyoa.
Captain, wewe mwanzo haujasubscribe kwa channel yangu na unapiga perere hapo. Si ulisema utasubscribe?
Aki bro, surely. Channel yako hata najua kweli ni gani? Surely.
Andika jina yangu kwa YouTube, kama hiyo jina hapo utaipata.
Haya, sawa.
Saa hii kama uko kwa kamera, saa ile natoa point. Okay. Haya, anyway, Nyambaya, Otita Molo raises good question, and I've been saying this even before that. Was that today or when? I didn't see that. When did Otita Molo gave that speech?
No. That is from the archives.
Oh, it's from the archives. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't know that. But anyway, he makes a very good point, which I've been making in my channel. Captain, if you go to my channel, if you subscribe, and everyone that's watching, subscribe to Kenya Revolutionary, I made this point long time ago, that this NADCO recommendation will go nowhere. It will go to it will end up in courts, and the courts will do the same thing, ile kitu walifanya, because this is not a people's initiative. This is two people who met up somewhere outside of the parliament and are trying to shove this through the parliament to go for a referendum. And just to correct you, Leo, the parliament cannot change the constitution. They cannot amend the constitution. For any amendment to happen, it has to be, we have to have a plebiscite. What do I mean? We have to have a referendum.
No, they can amend the constitution,
no,
but there are specific parts like the structure of governance. What is the role of an MP is to amend and make laws. What are laws?
No. Leo.
How many laws have been amended in parliament, my friend?
Leo, listen to me. Please listen.
Yes.
They can legislate, they can make laws, but any law that they legislate, they make, has to be subservient to the constitution, the existing constitution. Now, if they want to change or amend the constitution itself, it has to go for a referendum. We have to have a plebiscite. It has to go to the wananchi directly. So you can't say that the parliament have the power to change the constitution just by voting something and saying, oh, let's change this article, whatever. No, they cannot do that. They have to take it to the people. Anything that messes up with the constitution has to go to the people to be voted on for yes or no. Okay? So the parliament cannot do that. Yes, thank you. Aya, funga hiyo. Ukisha subscribe utasikia saa ile unaenda kulala. Anyway, but that's number one. The legislative body, they legislate, they make laws that are subservient to the current constitution. They cannot make law to change the constitution. They have to bring it to the people for us to vote. Huko mashinani. That's number one. So Otita Molo was very candid and very clear when he elucidated what needs to be done, and he gave very good example. What if somebody is an independent? How does that work? So I've been screening that. If you go to my channel again, for those who are watching Kenya Revolutionary, I made that point. This NADCO recommendation will probably end up in court again and will be voted down because what they did is unconstitutional. The thing has to start with the people.
So in that case, Kenya Revolutionary, should we say that William Ruto is tricking Raila Odinga, or should we say that Raila Odinga is not learning because the same thing happened? And again, we see a repeat. It happened with the Uhuru Kenyatta with the BBI, and a lot of time was wasted. It got publicized only to be stopped by a popular court decision. Or do we have to say that it's either Raila is not learning or William Ruto is becoming so cunning and so tricky? What do you take of that?
It's both. But I would say these two gentlemen are trying to, as the Americans say, pull a fast one. Wanataka to enjoy because they know. That's why you had Leo. I don't know if you had that speech, the full speech. I think it was 15-minute speech by Raila Odinga when he when he agreed on this NADCO recommendation. What does he say? Hakuna haja ya kurudi Kenya, Valley is better able to do that. Anyway, what I was saying is this. If you had Raila in his speech that day when he was giving a speech about that NADCO, he mentioned that there are some recommendations here that require us to go for a referendum, which means he understood that for some of those, like the position of the official opposition, the chief cabinet secretary, Sijui, and another whatever, it requires the constitution to be changed. And that's why he said, in that case, wacha tuende kwapi, tuende referendum. And what Raila fails to understand, because Raila is not a lawyer, and I don't know if Otinda Amolo didn't advise him, or Rengo, I understand, is busy drinking and going to India with Ruto. He doesn't understand that in order to change the constitution, you have to go for a referendum. And because this thing started, this NADCO was bipartisan. Bipartisan doesn't represent everybody in this country, okay? This is a coalition agreement between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. That does not constitute the whole nation. There are people who are independent, who represented them in that NADCO talks. Nobody. It was about Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. And that's why I say, even if they try to start this thing, they take it to the parliament, okay? Okay, Omtata will run to the court and say, this NADCO nonsense was initiated by Kenya Kwanza and Azimio leaders, okay? And those two do not make up the whole, they don't represent the whole country. There are people who are independent who never voted. So it is not a people's initiative. That's why Otiende Amolo in that speech in parliament was saying, if it was brought in the parliament, because the parliament, okay, in the legislative body, that is the body that represents the people. So if the people, through this representative, bring that issue that we need to change the constitution, it can be discussed. We can have Article 118 public participation, and it can be vetted, and then they can vote accordingly if we are supposed to then take it to a referendum, so we can vote for it.
Kenya Rebellion, just as you keep on speaking, there's something I want you to make clear. I don't want us to get confused. These issues that Parliament cannot amend Constitution, I know their Parliament's amendment to the Constitution is only limited when the amendment is going to touch on the structures of the governance. But these other petty amendments to the Constitution is the role of the Parliament. So can you just make that one clear? We've had a Constitution being amended severally, but we've not gone to referendum.
No.
You want to tell me the current Constitution, the one that we passed in 2010, is the one that is operational without any amendment? Or what is the definition of amendment?
Thank you. The 2010 constitution to date has never been amended.
Are you
It has
sure?
go look, and if you find any amendment of that without a referendum, I will send you $1,000 right now. Right now.
Don't confuse amendment and implementation.
Okay.
There's difference between implementation and amendmentation.
Okay, I will give you $1,000. You give me your whatever information, I will send you right now. Amendment of the constitution.
I think I'm getting some early Christmas from you. I'm sending you an email. Don't worry. I'm sending you an email. Don't worry.
Okay, send it. And you have to tell the people so they can see it. You know, we are not going to do it when we are hiding and say you have evidence and you're not showing us. What I'm trying to say, to make it clear again, Parliament make laws. Again, any law that they make has to be in line, subservient to the current constitution. Now, if they want to amend, do you know what the meaning of amending? Amend means unataka ku change kidogo. Unataka ku change. Unaona? Like let's say you have a shirt and I meant to amend your shirt yako is blue, but I want to put a yellow ribbon on it. Nishone hapo yellow. In order to do that, you have to take it to the people huko mashinani kila pahali. That's why you see that Raila right now he wants to start working on the sending his people who will be part of the select panel to choose the next IEBC chairman, so that in case we have amendment, IEBC can carry it out because IEBC ndio wanachukua hizo kura na nini. But I'm saying this, you know, just to make it clear again, these people make laws, they make new laws, but any law that they make in the land, whether it's a new law or whatever, it cannot violate or contravene the current constitution. The 2010 constitution has never been amended, has never been changed. And in order to change it, it has to go to a referendum. And in order to go for a referendum, it has to be a people initiative. Kalonzo and his buddies cannot meet at Nyayo with that senator from Kericho and Ichongwa and smile and drink coffee and get paid $1 million a day and tell us that this recommendation requires us to change that is not a people's initiative. That is Raila Odinga and his representative talking outside in Bomas. It is not a people's initiative because not every Kenyan's representative is represented in that talks. If it started at the national level in the legislative body, then we can say, okay, this is a people's initiative because it starts where the people representatives are. That's why this thing will go to court and the court will rule accordingly, unless Ruto kills them or threatens them, like Uhuru Kenyatta used to threaten the whatever.
And do you see a possibility of Kenyans going on a referendum?
No, that's why I tell you, because this thing will go to court, because the whole recommendation, the Bomas recommendation, is not a people's initiative. It is just a recommendation. Is a deal between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. That's why you had anaitwa nani Amolo say, what about the independence? Unaelewa? The BBI was stopped. Remember, they wanted to take it to a referendum, but it was stopped because it was not a people's initiative. It was Raila and the president who wanted this amendment. The president cannot say, I want to change the constitution and force people to go to a referendum. No, it has to be the people who want it. And most Kenyans do not want this. So I'm saying this thing will not get to that point. Someone will be disappointed, whether it's Raila or Ruto. And you ask a good question. Somebody is being played. It's either Raila is being tricky or is being played, he doesn't know, or Ruto knows he has tricked Raila and he knows this thing is going nowhere.
So that is the question. And actually, maybe you just came when we were almost done with our discussion. If you look at our topic there, we were really saying that President Ruto is stoppable. And this one was confirmed by Raila, who told us that just like the previous, the former president, Daniel Moi, who claimed, who believed that he could not be stopped, he was stopped. And he was stopped by Kenyans. And he said Ruto is also stoppable. And Ruto is going to be stopped by Kenyans. I just want to know your views, Because when we woke up today, this is what we found in the morning. Was it today or yesterday? We saw that one on the headline whereby Ruto said, "I am unstoppable." And I think he was quoted based on what he was telling Kenyans concerning the housing levy, saying that, okay, you people are going to court, you're trying to stop this thing, but I'm telling you, you will not stop me. But just few hours after chastening how unstoppable he is, today, most speakers who spoke in the funeral of the late Sifuna told us how Ruto is stoppable, and they even said how Kenyans really fought for democracy. Kenyans have really fought for this space, and Kenyans are ready to stop Ruto. So the question I'm asking you, how is Ruto stoppable? Who is going to stop him? When? And why is he supposed to be stopped? Just your humble opinion, and maybe you can also use it as a closing remark.
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you very much, Leo. The problem with these people, they talk a good talk when they're weekend funerals. They are very great. They do a great job when they're in the funerals. Instead of eulogizing about the person who died, they take that opportunity to talk to us about what Ruto is doing wrong and how they can stop it. Instead of doing that, using their the power that has been delegated to them at the legislative body. You see, Ruto is stoppable. The problem is you have people who are ignorant. Okay? Not only that they are ignorant, there are two kinds of people in Kenya. There are people who are ignorant, and there are people who are, they know the truth, but they are using your ignorance to take advantage of you. So like the people in those Azimio MPs, okay, Otiende Amolo right now in 2023, he knows very well, he knows the law. Martha Karua knows the law, okay? They know very well, The problem is, and then let me take Martha Karua out of it. The problem is these people like Orengo and Otiende Amolo, they want positions. That's why they want this NADCO thing. So they want to program Kenyans to hate Ruto and to make you believe that this NADCO thing can pass and it can go to a referendum so that they can have their position, instead of telling people the truth that, you know what, this is not a people's initiative. If Raila was serious about taking out Ruto, I've been saying here time and time again, you have a lot of MPs that you have control over. Azimio is almost like a cult. I'm sorry to say so, Yabai, I know you're Azimio. But he can tell them, listen, let's present a motion to take this person out, or at least to bring the cost of living down. I gave an example. Didmas Baraza, even we saw in Baringo, people were heckling Murkomen. Even the Rift Valley MPs are not happy with Ruto. Why can't he use his MPs and senators to come up with a bill that clips Ruto's power, stops Ruto's power legally, given the powers that has been given to them in the constitution? But no, he won't do that because Raila wants cheo, he wants a carpet, he wants power, he wants the trappings of power. So he is willing to go for a handshake. How many handshakes have we had? That's why in the morning, I was in the morning show this morning, earlier, today with Jakes. And I said it, for how long can we trust in one man who seems to be self-serving? The sooner we stop from that. So anyway, to answer your question, what I'm saying is this. We, the people, have to first recognize that Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, the top wigs, the people who are in power, the elites, Wakina Raila, Ruto, Wamalwa, and all those clowns, they're in their own club. They're looking for their own ways of serving their own interest, and they want to legalize it. So let us recognize that these people are not the solution. So let us take our power back, our sovereign power that is in the Constitution, Article 1, with the people. And if we need to exercise our power directly, let's do like that country in Asia. Leo, you read about it. I know you read a lot of news. They went in the presidential nyumba state house.
That's Sri Lanka or which country? Yeah.
Yes. And do that. Let's go and tell our MPs, you're no longer MP. We are representing ourselves directly. So there's ways we can take out Ruto, but the problem is the so-called opposition are already in bed with Ruto. His captain says they're already with Ruto, but they want to pretend that they're with us by making us, they're trying to convince us to go ahead and vote for this referendum so they can have this position while the issues that we care about, they don't take care of. Anyway, that's my last submission. Thank you for seeing you again, Nyabaya, Captain. If you haven't subscribed to my channel is Kenya Revolutionary. Anyone in the chat, if you're hearing me, please go subscribe, share, like, and comment, and I will see you guys later. Thank you, God bless.
Thank you so much. That is Kenyan Revolutionary. The opinion and the views belongs to him. He doesn't represent government, neither does he represent the opposition. So his comments, his views, his everything, his contribution here are his, and we don't take responsibility. So guys, according to him, he's just agreeing with us that Ruto is stoppable. It has been a wonderful conversation, and right from the comment section to the panelists, we've been here with the captain. We've really weighed on reasons why we need to stop William Ruto, reasons why we think William Ruto is stoppable. And we posed a question to you now that you know that William Ruto is stoppable. So you have the power, you have the information, you have been empowered. So now it is upon you to use this information well, to mobilize outside there, to ensure that everybody knows the power that they hold. And they should be able to know that it is possible that they can be able to stop William Ruto. So back to you on the comment section. I really want to appreciate everyone who took their time to join.
I think
Nyabaya,
I am ending from there. I not want to wait for you to.
So let me give Captain to give his closing remarks. Then I'll give a closing remarks.
Now. Let me just close it.
All
because
right, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, it is very late here, and I'm supposed to be working tomorrow. You understand? Okay,
yes,
William
please
Ruto
just
is
give us your last one.
That is what I can say. William Ruto is stoppable. These people, they have to know that. We don't give any shit. We don't give any doubt on that. We will stop him. We voted for him. We can remove him from power. And because the promises he's telling us is not what we want. Is not what he promised us. Pesa Mfukoni is not there. This pesa outside Mfukoni. That is what I can say, because even right now as I speak, my people are crying so much. There is no pesa Mfukoni. It is pesa out of Mfukoni. You see? So Nyabaya, thank you very much. Tomorrow show in the morning.
Thank you so much. Let us meet tomorrow.
We'll
thank
meet
you
together.
so much.
Okay.
Yes.
Have a good
night. Enjoy the rest of your time. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I will really like to appreciate and thank you so much for joining today's show. It has really been wonderful, and it is because of you and everybody. Your contribution has really been fundamental. I have to appreciate Larry More for joining the show. Good year. It is always good and great having you in the comment section there. Ramesu Yegon, the Nilo Saharan guy. Karibu sana na karibu tena. We normally have this kind of show each and every evening from 10 p.m. up to past midnight. We're also having a morning show, which is the Afrique newspaper review, and in that show we are able to connect, update you very early in the morning with what is happening, what is hitting the headlines. And remember that tomorrow we are going to have a special show. It is a special edition that is going to tackle the matters of land. We call it Unlocking the Land Dilemma in Kenya. I'm going to have an expert tomorrow. Last weekend we hosted Engineer Mora and Reverend James. Tomorrow we are also having another expert, so keep it here. Ensure if you haven't subscribed to our channels, you do so that when we will be live, you'll always get notified. Karibu sana na ninakushukuru sana Sabrina Ayan for joining today's show. Pen Nyagaka, my senior, I saw you. Thank you very much. Caleb Harvis, thank you very much for your contribution. Indeed, you made the show success. Who else? I saw Dino Conchoro Guyo. Karibu sana, and he told us that Azimio is on, bro. Yegon already have identified you. We had you feed. We had Mary Wekesa. We had who else? Africa. I think we had Nick Nyagesa and everybody else who made it a success. I have to say thank you so much, and see you tomorrow. Good night. And for those people who are waking up, good morning, and I wish you a happy and a blessed Sunday. So as I leave you, I'll leave you with this so that you can be able to listen. So I've said, ensure that you keep it here tomorrow, same time, same place. Don't forget. So you can have a look at those.
Tunasonga mbele watu wote wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Tunasonga mbele watu wote wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Mwaka wa 60 umefika, tangu Kenya iwe huru. Mwaka wa 60 umefika, tangu Kenya iwe huru. Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri. Kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Twaenda mbio. Kenya yaenda mbele. Kwa elimu twaenda mbele. hatutaiacha kamwe, Kenya hatutaiacha kamwe, Kenya hatutaiacha mwenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, nchi yenye upendo, hatutaacha Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Tumeapa sote wananchi wa Kenya kutumikia Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Sitaiacha Kenya nchi yangu, na nikienda ng'ambo nitarudi, sitadanganya kamwe na wageni, wala sitapotoshwa na wabaya, sitasaliti Kenya nchi yangu, na majirani wangu nitalinda. Wenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu.
Nilisema mwaka wa 98 kwamba nitajiuzulu ama nitastaafu kipindi hiki cha miaka 5 ikisha. Wengine hawakuamini kwa sababu wanaamini power katika kontinenti la Afrika, kwamba kuna mtu anaweza kuwacha power ya urais. Power iko kwa wananchi, na sisi tu ni wadhamini yao.
Umoja ni fahari yetu, ndugu ndio nguvu, chuki na ukabila hatutaki hata kamwe. Lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu, pasiwe hata mmoja anayetenganisha. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu.
sisi sote wananchi tushangilie.
Nilisema mwaka wa 98 kwamba nitajiuzulu ama nitastaafu kipindi hiki cha miaka 5 ikisha. Wengine hawakuamini kwa sababu wanaamini power katika kontinenti la Afrika, kwamba kuna mtu anaweza kuwacha power ya urais. Power iko kwa wananchi, na sisi tu ni wadhamini yao.